Urgent. My sister's YouTube channel at Renawatif has been hacked. Please be aware of any strange or unusual content posted on her channel as it is no longer under her control. We urge you to subscribe to her new channel, Rena Fiction, to avoid any confusion or misinformation. Thank you for your understanding and support during this difficult time. Hello to all lovers of lemon scenes. I invite you all to my boosty so you can watch your favorite Naruto What If stories in complete comfort. A subscription to Naruto Lemon, the first video with a full lemon, is already on my boosty channel. Dare! October 10th is the day the fourth Hokage and his wife had twins. Everyone was happy about this and congratulated them on the long-awaited addition to the family. People crowded in front of the residence, shouting and rejoicing, but suddenly a red fox with 9 tails and red eyes appeared in front of them. 10 minutes ago. Come on, Kushina, you can do it. Push! Biwako screamed. Wife of the third Hokage. I know, Biwako-sama, but it hurts like hell. Kushina replied. Not to your sore now. I can already see the head. Let's push harder, Kushina. Biwako said nervously. And you, young Hokage, watch the fox so that it doesn't break out, otherwise I'll tear it to pieces. Hey, Biwako-sama. Minato said with a smile and concentrated on the fox. Oppa. Get out first. Poured father. Nurse, hold on. Biwako commanded and began to wait for the second. What beautiful. Kushina gasped for breath. Talk less and push more. Let's. A little bit more. Oops. And here is the second one. The old woman said happily. Suddenly, everyone died, and Menma, the second son of the Hokage, was caught by a man in a mask and, throwing him up, directing the kunai upwards. Minato threw his kunai at the boy and teleported away, grabbing Menma and Naruto with his other hand, transporting them to a hut near the village. Hearing a hiss and quickly removing the towel from one of the boys, Namikaze immediately threw out the bomb and then went to Kushina, who was chained to a rock. A certain masked man had already released the 9 tails from her body, subjugating him. Minato quickly untied his wife, teleporting her to his sons, and then moved towards his face, depicted on a huge rock. The Hokage, wearing his trademark cloak with the inscription, Shadow of Fire 4th Generation, put a kunai forward. When the enraged fox saw him, he became even more enraged and began to form a tailed bomb, after swallowing it and shooting yellow lightning. A centimeter remaining to the target, after which seals appeared in the air, which sucked in a considerable size, the weapon of the 9 tails and moved it into the sea. Suddenly, a masked man appeared behind Minato and, touching the blonde's shoulder, began to suck him into an inexplicable place, but he was able to escape from him, being far from Konoha. Ha! You live up to your nickname, Minato-sensei, Obito muttered and disappeared. At this time, Hiruzen and Danzo fought against the fox with their Umbu squad. The two have been best friends since childhood and were referred to as the Bloody Duo. They pressed the 9 tails, and the third, using his staff, knocked the Kyuubi out of the village, while the Leaf Shinobi continued to fight him. Minato teleported to a clearing away from Konoha, starting to think about his next move, but an enemy appeared. Using an ancient technique, he sealed the chakra of the unknown and was able to break the mask that was on the opponent, learning that it was Obito. This used up almost all of his chakra, so he activated Sannin mode and moved to the third, then tossed a kunai up and summoned Gamabunta. Namikaze jumped on the fox and attacked him. After a small fight between the two giant creatures, the Toad boss fought the 9 tails even further. Minato again went to the monster, but then Kushina arrived, who slightly restored her chakra, pressing the orange monster with the chains of Kongo Fuso. Kushina, we have to seal the fox into one of our sons. Naruto looks tougher than Menma, I think. No. You don't understand what you're condemning him to. Do you even know how hard life is for Jinchuriki? The red-haired woman interrupted him. We have no other choice, Minato said sadly and went to his sons. After taking his first child, he teleported back to the fox and already wanted to call on the god of death when Hiruzen and Danzo arrived. Minato, wait. I will do it. A person came out of me, let's say useless, so let me do it. Danzo shouted, seeing what the fourth Hokage was doing. Hiruzen has almost no chakra left, and you still have children to raise. Therefore, let me. Alright, Danzo-sama. Thank you, Minato said, almost passing out. At this time over Konoha. Oh. What an interesting village. Oh. And the fox is here. You will need to ask Haiden what kind of village. He. Thought a man with horns, a white face, a white jacket and red pants, who hovered over Konoha. Suddenly, he was noticed by the god of death, who was on bad terms with Jashin Otsutsuki. He had long wanted to take his soul, but this bastard did not die. That's when he decided to seal it in Naruto, but due to the gigantic volume of the nine-tailed chakra, he lost the mind of God, which simply evaporated and sealed the chakra and knowledge in Minato's son. This caused Naruto's hair to turn gray, his eyes turning purple for a second and then blue. The fourth was afraid that the fox had captured the mind of his child. Teleporting him to the orphanage, he rang the doorbell, then said his name was Naruto Uzumaki and disappeared in a flash, returning to an unconscious Kushina. At all this, the god of death only sighed and decided to scold the god of thunder, because he chose such a coward, after which he disappeared, and Danzo's dead body fell like a mood after watching the Titanic. A boy who was 5 years old ran through the streets of Konoha. And to be more precise, it was today that he turned 5. And now he is trying to run to his house in order to hide so that he will not be beaten by drunken Chunin again. There is one turn left, but the boy falls into a trap that was set by the guys of 10 years. Naruto was caught in the net and tried to break free, but he couldn't. Congratulations, gentlemen. The annual demon hunt was a success as always. Now we just need to take his carcass to those Chunin and we'll get some pretty money. Huh. The ringleader rejoiced, and the other two simply nodded and looked at the boy with contempt, but suddenly one of them spoke. Guys, can we beat him a little more? I don't think the boss will be very angry. The bully said with a smirk. Why not? We haven't warmed up for a long time. Answered the chief, after which the beating began. Covering the child with blows to the head and torso, and then, as if painted with multiple purple bruises, they carry him in a net to an alleyway where two Chunin are standing, who are angrily looking at Naruto. For what? What have I done to you? Why do you all hate me? The boy thought, bursting into tears. We finally got it. Here's your 1,000 Rios, guys. Give us a demon. After the incident, Naruto woke up in a white room that smelled of medicine. He immediately realized that he was again in the hospital and has been here for at least a day. After all, it was evening outside, and he was beaten at night. The boy smiled and said, I finally made my first friend. He said, and getting up from the bed, he gathered his things, jumping out of the window. Flashback. Naruto woke up in some kind of sewer. He felt no pain, but simple irritation from the water in which he lay. I died? It looks like I'm in hell. However, I really am a demon who is destined to be in hell. The boy smiled sadly and stood up. Go to my voice. Suddenly, he heard a formidable demonic voice calling to him. Naruto, passing from the left, approached the turn and saw a light behind him. He walked in search of a source of a bright glow, and, finding himself in a huge room with a cage on which was the kanji 4 seal, only began to look around in surprise. Is anybody here? The blonde asked, and at his call, blood-red eyes began to be seen behind the cage, which turned to him. So that's who my jailer is. The god of death seems to have gone completely insane. Ha! Said a menacing growl. Everything fell into place, Naruto muttered. What are you mumbling about, shorty? Well, everyone in the village calls me a demon. And on my birthday, the nine-tailed fox demon was sealed. A Jinchuriki who died and was then resealed into another child. But now I am in my subconscious, and I see a cage with a seal, behind which there is a creature with a gigantic volume of chakra, and looks at me with hateful eyes. Conclusion: I am the Jinchuriki of the nine-tailed fox, the coolest, most beautiful and strongest beast. Also, most likely, I am the son of the fourth Hokage. Who abandoned me, afraid that you took over my mind. Uzumaki said and hit his palm with his fist. Now everything is clear, fox. Naruto was a brilliant child. At the age of 1 he could walk, at 1.5 to run, and at 2 he could read, write and count. In 3 years, he has read over 50 books on the art of shinobi and cooking for dummies from Tucci. His favorite book is Tales of the Great Shinobi by Jiraiya-sama, one of the 3 legendary Sannin. The Nine-Tails stared at Naruto with bulging eyes. At the age of 5, understand all this in a few seconds, and even compliment the fox without being afraid of him at all. It was something new in his life. Kyubi-sama, are you alive? The little one asked. I'm glad my Jinchuriki is so smart, but I have one question. Aren't you afraid of me? The nine-tailed came out of prostration and asked a question. Why should I be afraid of you? There is a lot of drama and exaggeration in the books. It can't be that such a good being as you would hate all people just like that. They must have made you very upset. Although, I would hate them too if they put me in a cage for life. Yes, and we are in my subconscious, so you will not do anything to me. By the way, one question torments me all the time. Kyubi is a nickname. What is your name? Did this kid seriously just ask his name? My name is Kurama, the fox stuttered. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. And I want to be Hokage. The blonde yelled. Naruto, do you want to know a cool thing? Asked the flea. Of course, Kurama-sama. You are immortal. Immortal? But I don't know Jashin's way, do I? The boy said with a sneer. So to say, the god of death sealed Jashin and me in you. The fox cheered the blonde. But due to the fact that you have a huge supply of chakra, his mind was destroyed, and I got his abilities and knowledge. So where is Jashin's library of knowledge? Naruto didn't stop to finish. You haven't opened them yet. You need a hearth of chakra. Now get out. I need to digest all this. Alright, Kurama-sama. Can we be friends? The blue-eyed man asked hopefully. Okay. Just go away, please. My head hurt. After that, Naruto disappeared, and Kyubi thought. Did you talk about him? And, grinning, continued to sleep. End of flashback. Naruto woke up in the morning because of some screams. Only after 2 minutes did he realize that these were screams from the subconscious. Kyubi, is that you? Why wake up at 6 in the morning? The white-haired man was perplexed. I need you to start training, and now quickly get dressed and go to the training ground, the fox commanded, and Naruto had no choice but to listen to his new friend. He got out of bed, went to the bathroom, took all the water treatments and followed into the kitchen. There he cooked porridge with rice and after eating, went to the bedside table. There were 6 shurikens and 3 kunai that he found at the training ground. After putting them in a bag and left the apartment. On the street, as always, everyone looked at Naruto with hatred and contempt, but he didn't care, because now he has a friend who will always help him. At range 39. Naruto, let's start with physical training. Do 50 sit-ups, 20 push-ups, and 7 circles around the field, the flea man ordered. Yes, sir. An hour later. I'm going to die now. Can we get some rest? Naruto asked. No. Now you have to awaken the hearth of the chakra, so sit in the lotus position and try to feel the fire in your stomach, Kurama replied. Cool. Whereupon the boy sat down and began to meditate. After 2 hours, he felt the chakra. I think I can feel Ku. The blonde yelled at the whole subconscious. Well done, Naruto. Looks like you really are a genius. Okay, now try to disperse it through the channels, Fox said in surprise. Working hard and exercising. Naruto doesn't notice how fast time flies that it's been 3 whole years. A few years later, a boy with gray hair was walking down the street after training. Half-face mask. Dressed in a black t-shirt, who had pouches attached to his belt, in which lay kunai, shuriken and senbon. There were seals with the kanji for waiter on the arms and legs. Flashback. Naruto, I think you should start wearing weights and put on 4 kilos every day, said the tailed one. But everything will break under me, Ku? That's right. But I figured it out. I will teach you one technique. In your library, like it should be. It's called heavyweight seal. Learn and the burden will be only on you, mumbled the Nine Tails. You're a genius, Kurama. Naruto replied and ran to the library to study the new technique. By the way, this is what the library looks like, a medium-sized green room with cabinets on the walls, on which were red, purple and black scrolls. Red ones are inaccessible, purple ones are available for study, black ones are deadly. Everything studied fell into another place, which was behind bulky furniture. End of flashback. Finally, this white-haired boy reached his destination. Shinobi Academy. Today is his first day and he hopes sensei won't brainwash him with his kindergarten questions. Naruto entered the courtyard of the academy and saw a lot of children standing with their parents. Looking around for a bit, he saw the Hokage family. Speaking of her. After Naruto's death, Kushina gave birth to 2 more children. The first was a 5-year-old boy with red hair and green eyes, with facial features like Minato. Wearing a khaki jacket with a whirlpool symbol and purple pants, he wore blue shinobi sandals on his feet. His name was AKA. The second was a girl of 4 years. Blonde hair and blue eyes, Kushina's facial features. A yellow shirt and white shorts, and a cap on his head. Her name was Teiyo. AKA read, Teiyo, son. Naruto looked at them strangely and it didn't escape Kushina's gaze. She looked with interest at the blonde man in the mask, who turned away. Speaking of the mask. Flashback. In library. Ku, and here is this copy ninja. He has hair like mine. Can you put on a mask? No one will know, and it will not be strange to look at me. Naruto asked his friend. It's you, of course, on time. Look to the left, Kurama said with a smirk. Ah. Copy ninja. Uzumaki shouted when he saw a shinobi with a half-face mask and an eye patch. He sat to his left and read the book, Come, Paradise. Wah. Do the little ones recognize me? What are you reading? Leaf Jonin? Interesting, on the same page as me, Kakashi wondered. Kakashi Hataki. What did you forget here? Naruto asked surprised. What can a grown man do in the library with a book in his hands? Stop. The 3rd volume is already out. Uzumaki screamed. Are you also reading Come, Paradise? The copy ninja said in an interested tone. Yes. By the way, Kakashi-san, where did you buy the mask? The boy asked. There is a stall near the residence, where I bought it. Thanks, Kakashi-san. Naruto interrupted and ran under henge to buy a mask. End flashback. Naruto started looking around at the other people in the courtyard and saw Fugaku Uchiha's family. His wife and 2 sons, Itachi and Sasuke. At the same time, Minato Namikaze appeared in front of people in a yellow flash and began to talk nonsense about the fact that this is a new generation of the will of fire, something about shinobi, future comrades, and blah blah blah. The Uzumaki didn't listen. He looked at one girl with orange hair and brown eyes, with a blue hat on her head. She wore a blue shirt and a brown sleeveless vest, black shorts underneath, and black shinobi sandals on her feet. You've got a crush, huh? The fox yelled in his subconscious with a sneer. And nothing like that. Just a beautiful girl. Naruto denied the facts. Fool, I know your feelings by heart, Kurama muttered and ended the conversation. After an hour-long speech by the Under Hokage, the children began to say goodbye to their families and follow the teachers. Class 1B. Please follow me. Irika said as he entered the academy. In class. Hello, my name is Irika Yumino. I am your homeroom teacher for the next 4 years. I hope we will be friends. Now, introduce yourself in the same format. Hello. My name is Kiba Inuzuka. I wish to become the future Hokage. And also not to disgrace your clan and get a good wife, like my dog. Kiba said. Aburame Shino, you should call me. I don't want to dishonor my clan either, Shino spoke with a strange tone. I'm Sakura Haruno. I want to be the first female Hokage. That's what everyone said, except for a few. I am Sasami Fuma. I wish to become a good doctor in Konoha and protect my comrades, said the girl who was looking at our young Jinchuriki. I am Sasuke Uchiha, I want to get the strongest Sharingan. I am Menma Namikaze. I want to become the strongest Hokage and learn the Flying Thunder God technique. Okay, now, Uzumaki Naruto, Irika said the last 2 words with disgust. You learned the name, I have nothing more to tell about myself, the boy said in a serious tone and sat down at his desk. Hey demon. Don't you dare pretend to be cool, otherwise I'll tell you. Menma yelled, but suddenly Naruto was behind him and kicked him in the head. Next time, she will fly off to teacher Irika in the hands, the Uzumaki said menacingly and returned to his seat. Okay, calm down, kids. There will be no lessons today, so you can go. The teacher said in surprise and went to the Hokage to report about the first day. Speaking of Naruto's strength. He has 3 elements, Raiden, Doton and Kato. He is proficient in multiple elemental techniques such as Chidori, Electric Clone, Kirin, Electric Dragon Dance, Hiration, Stone Wall, Bullets and Needles, Stone Dome, Fireball, Great Fire Destruction, and Phoenix Flowers. He had Taijutsu like a strong Chunin. Ninjutsu and speed like Jounin. Kenjutsu and Shuriken Jutsu at the Kage level. He also possessed Shadow Clones and Transformation, Shunshin, Replacement and Light Genjutsu, and his sensory was at the level of an average sensor. Hokage's house. Darling, I'm home. Minato said, and seeing that Menma was slightly beaten, he immediately asked, what's wrong? Menma again rocked the demon, and he, as always, laid him down, damn it. Aki answered. Namikaze had a very hard time all this time, because Naruto did not cause any harm to the village. There were sometimes bursts of the 9-tailed chakra, but they simply treated the boy after another beating, and then up to 5 years. Minato was very sorry about what had happened and did not know what to do. Naruto's house. Hey, Ku, I'm fine with it, right today? Asked the blue-eyed boy. Yes, that's good, but you have another book to read today, Kurama said. It's good that you reminded me. About. Behold, Great Jujitsu. Maybe we appreciate it? Let's. Sometime later. Kurama, does the Rinnegan really exist? Or is it a hoax? Uzumaki asked. I'll tell you more, because you have Otsutsuki's chakra, you have the Rinnegan. Just direct Jashin's chakra into his eyes, the flea bear replied. Naruto did as the fox said and, looking out the window, saw purple eyes with circles in the reflection. The next day, Naruto woke up at 5 a.m., took all the water treatments, cooked food, ate, dressed, packed up and went outside. He headed to the training ground to learn eye techniques. When Uzumaki arrived at the place, the boy sat in the lotus position and began to meditate. Once in front of Kurama, he nodded hello, ran to the library and began to look for new purple scrolls. After a minute of searching, he found the right one and began to consider them, completely immersing himself in the teachings, studying the techniques. 1. Bansho Tenon. Description: attracts everything within the radius of damage, which depends on the chakra. The cooldown is 3 minutes, with maximum control you can reach 5 seconds. I'll try to study it, Naruto thought and exited his subconscious. When he woke up, he took out 2 kunaks from his bag, which he threw into the mannequin so that they circled around him, and then intersected with each other. When this happened, the Uzumaki extended his arm forward and yelled Bansho Tenon, whereupon the kunai turned towards the dummy and poked him from behind. Get out, Kakashi-san. I know you're here. Naruto said and threw a shuriken at Hatake. Ma. What are the abilities? I'm assuming it's your Rinnegan, right? Here we go. Kakashi began to train Naruto and even seemed like a brother to him. Uzumaki put on a lens on one eye, and on the other a simple bandage, which he bought in the same shop as Sensei. He did this so as not to spend a lot of time removing the lenses in battle, but uses them later so that no one except Kakashi would know about his strength. Time skip 4 years. Well done, boys. You all have worked very hard for all these 4 years. I hope you pass the exam successfully. Iruka said. In Naruto's subconscious. Well, that's it, kid, today you have to do it. You promised. Kurama said with satisfaction in his voice. I know. After the exam, I confessed to her. Naruto replied. Fine. The first will be Menma Namikaze. The teacher called the Hokage's son. Menma went to Iruka and turned into him, then made 5 clones. You are so good, Menma. Not like this demon. The screams of the girls were heard. After Sasuke came out, and the situation did not change in any way. Now Naruto Uzumaki. Yumino shouted. Fu. Demon. Die. The number of exclamations increased. Well, what? Wanted a demon? Get it. Uzumaki said in the voice of Kyubi, after which he created 50 clones. They all turned into classmates and sensei. Everyone fell silent, some even began to fear Naruto's menacing gaze. Okay, kids. Let's go outside. Compete in throwing and fighting. Sensei shouted, after which everyone went to the training ground of the academy. Then we'll set the heat for you. Monster! Shouted Menma and Sasuke. Well done. In summary, Kiba 7 out of 10, Shino 9 out of 10, Shikamaru 8 out of 10, Menma 9 out of 10, Sasuke 9 out of 10. Now you, Naruto. The fair-haired man took the weapon in his hands and, throwing it, formed a circle in the center, in the middle of which was a kunai suspended on another. 10 out of 10. Nothing else was expected of you. Iruka said with a smile. During this time, he recognized the Uzumaki as a strong shinobi with an incredible mind and shiny hair. He was always interested in how he put his hair in order with Kakashi. The boy became like a copy of Kakashi, the same delays and excuses, he read a book on the go. In sparring, Naruto caught Sakura, whom he knocked out with Kurama's chakra, like all the other students, and the teacher fell to his knees, which is why the battle was not held. The next day, everyone was divided into teams. Team number 6, Kenshiro Uchiha Uzumaki Neya. Mentor, Sasai Karigawa. Team number 7, Menma Namikaze, Sasuke Uchiha Naruto Uzumaki. Mentor, Kakashi Hatake. Shinigami, what the hell did I do to you? The blonde yelled as everyone looked at him strangely. All the other teams were distributed as usual, but the 14th team were students, Aka Namikaze, Taiyo Namikaze, and Sakura Haruno. Mentor, Kushina Uzumaki. 3 hours later, only Menma, Sasuke, and Naruto were in the office. The guys said that they got a bad teacher and teammate, and the blue-eyed one just read the book, Come, Paradise. She's good to you, right? Kurama laughed inside Naruto's head, his eyes twinkling defiantly. It's not funny. A friend is also called. Why is this Sasuke better than me? Naruto sighed, crossing his arms over his chest. Flashback. The last day of the Shinobi Academy, after school. Hey! Shouted a boy in a mask with a bandage over his left eye, on which the emblem of Konoha flaunted, shouted with a wave of his hand. Sasami-chan. About. Naruto-kun, do you want something? The girl with red hair asked with a smile. Well, the boy thought for a second, scratching his head with his right hand and looking away in embarrassment. Sasami-chan, you know, I wanted to confess something to you for a long time. For the first time in 4 years, Naruto was so nervous. He is usually like an emotionless cucumber, sitting in class and listening to Irika. And in what? Sasami asked surprised. I love you, Sasami-chan. The ash-haired man said. Oh. Naruto-kun, if you'd said that earlier, then. She sighed heavily. Sasuke-kun has already asked me out, so I'm sorry. Sasami spoke quickly and ran towards Sasuke, throwing her arms around him. Here's an underdeveloped faggot. I'll kill him like a fly. Fucking bastard. Naruto yelled at his entire subconscious, puffing indignantly under his breath. Haha. Where did you get such words, kid? The flea-bitten man asked, clearly amused by the situation. Knows, somehow itself. It looks like Jashin got it, an offended Naruto replied, looking angrily somewhere to the side. End flashback. A man walked into the classroom that looked a lot like Naruto. Emma, are you by any chance a dad and a son? Menma asked, to which Sasuke turned an interested look to the two of them. Naruto, I told you not to wear a mask at the academy, Kakashi said with a smile. Naruto looked at him with a sad look, saying with his eyes that he was rejected and now he is not up to sensei. Okay, let's go to the roof, otherwise it's stuffy somehow. Hatake rubbed his chin thoughtfully and disappeared into the haze. Naruto fled to Shunshin. Okay, let's get acquainted. You are first. Kakashi pointed to Menma as they arrived at the rooftop. Can you set an example yourself? Menma asked, leaning against the railing. My name is Kakashi Hatake, Jonin of Konoha. I like a lot of things, including reading and punctuality. I don't like it when someone is late, Kakashi replied. Menma and Sasuke looked at each other and looked at Hatake strangely. Naruto only smiled from the edge of his lips. My name is Namikaze Menma. I love Sasuke, he stammered. Oh, that is, to be friends with Sasuke and Kiba, and I also don't like the demon. My dream is to become Hokage, Naruto's doppelganger said proudly. God, what are the faggots around? The Uzumaki muttered, putting his hand to his head. My name is Uchiha Sasuke, I love my friends and my girlfriend, my dream is to become a Shadow Kage. Naruto Uzumaki, I love and dislike a lot of things, I dream of becoming a swordsman of the fog, as well as reigning peace in the world, Naruto said and returned to the book he held in his hands. Fine. Tomorrow at training ground number 7, I'm waiting for you at 6 in the morning. There will be a test. If you don't pass, you'll be sent back to the academy. Kakashi said and disappeared into Shunshin, leaving only a trail of white lightning in Naruto's place. Naruto woke up at 8 o'clock in the morning, angrily reached for the alarm clock and turned it off. He knew he was late, but he was in no hurry, because he knew that Kakashi's brother would not come before 10. So I got out of bed and went to the bathroom. Having taken all the water procedures, he went to the kitchen to prepare breakfast. He made a cake, poured himself some tea and sat down at the table. "Itadakama as." Naruto shouted, waking up the fox and smiling slyly, after which he began to eat. After 5 minutes, he put the rest of the cake in the refrigerator and washed the plates, then got dressed, collected his belongings and teleported to the 7th training ground using the technique of the flying god of thunder. "Hey demon! Why did you come at 9:30? We were ordered to come at 6. Yelled at the silver-haired men. "Shut up. Sensei hasn't come yet, which means I'm not late." The blonde grumbled. "Speaking of him. He'll be here in 3 seconds, Naruto said as Kakashi appeared behind him. "Naruto, how did you know that Kakashi-sensei would be late again?" Sasuke asked with interest, looking thoughtfully at his teacher. "Firstly, he was late for the first meeting. If you couldn't get to that point, then I have no idea how you were allowed into the genin. And secondly, I've known my nii-san since I was 8 years old," Naruto answered more calmly. After the rejection, he almost stopped feeling any emotions. Including the Hokage family. There was no love that is usually experienced for relatives, only one emptiness. "Hey guys, let's live in peace," Kakashi said with a smile and then raised a pair of bells to eye level. "Today your task is to take these bells away from me before noon." He shook them slightly and put them back in his pocket. "Yeah, but sensei, there's only 2 of them," Sasuke was surprised. "That's right, one of you will go back to the academy," Kakashi replied as he set the timer. "Huh, Sasuke and I will go through, and we will send this demon back to Okada." Menma did not have time to finish. As sensei shouted, "Begin," took out a book and immediately became interested in reading. Sasuke and Naruto hid while Menma moved even closer to his teacher and used one of his taijutsu techniques. However, it didn't work. Kakashi, without taking his eyes off the book, parried all his blows and sometimes even responded to these unfortunate actions with blows to the stomach. After 5 minutes of fighting with taijutsu, Menma got tired of this and created 5 clones, 3 of which flew at Kakashi with a Rasengan, and the rest threw shurikens and kunai, driving Hatake away to a tree. At that moment, the hands of the real Menma burst out of the ground, and Sasuke used a fireball technique, but the teacher escaped from Menma's clutches and created an earthen dome. "Kirin!" Naruto suddenly shouted from the center of the clearing, and a huge dragon, completely covered with lightning, crashed into Kakashi's dome, and, breaking through the dome, nevertheless got the sensei, who suddenly disappeared in a cloud of smoke. "What? Clone?" Menma wondered, looking in astonishment at the spot where their teacher stood a second ago. "Cover me for a minute, please," Naruto said as he sat in the lotus position. Flashback. I was just thinking. Maybe I should join the free call?" Naruto asked. "Good idea Naruto, I think it's worth a try," Ko replied and lay down on his side again. Naruto folded the necessary seals, bit his finger and hit his palm on the ground, on which dark strange patterns dispersed, after which a cloud of smoke appeared, in which Naruto disappeared. "Hey! Is there anyone here?" Naruto yelled as he arrived at Mount Myaboku. "Greetings, human child. The Toad Sage wants to see you," Fukasaku said and led the silver-haired one. When they arrived, the Toad Sage, without opening his eyes, began to speak. "I've been waiting for you Uzumaki Naruto. You are the child of the prophecy, said the toad sage, while Naruto himself, oblivious, looked at different toads of all colors and sizes. Stop what? The child of prophecy? Have you collapsed from an oak tree, and randomly left for a free call? How could you know that it was I who would come to you? Not understanding the whole situation, said Uzumaki. I don't know how it works. I just dream about all sorts of nonsense, but if something happens in dreams besides all garbage, then such things come true. The sage explained. Fukasaku, you have to teach him hermit mode. Yes, sage, let's go Naruto, Fukasaku said, leading the boy until he finally led him to the very spot by the waterfall. You have to spend 4 years here to master Sannin mode, sign a treaty, and learn Toad Kumite. By the way, 1 year here is like 1 month for you. In other words, when you turn 12 in that world, we will give you a Sannin cloak, because in this world your body will not grow. Are you interested in my opinion? Naruto was surprised, perplexed by such an unexpected flow of information. Do you need strength? You will get it, Fukasaku informed. Naruto snorted vaguely, but agreed. End flashback. I felt it. Head east while I prepare a trap for him. Naruto commanded. So you also understood that this is a test of teamwork? Menma asked standing next to Sasuke, to which Naruto nodded, after which they parted ways. When Sasuke and Menma reached Kakashi, the second used the earth technique and went down through the soil, disappearing, and Sasuke went head-on. He decided not to stand on ceremony for a long time, so he used the phoenix flowers technique, activating the Sharingan and jumping up, threw 5 small fireballs, surrounding Hatake with them so that he could not dodge. Sensei decided to follow Menma's example and disappear into the ground, but suddenly Menma himself flew out from under it with a Rasengan. Kakashi then used a replacement and the phoenix flowers flew at Namikaze, but Naruto got in front of him in time and teleported him to Sasuke. Damn, it didn't work, the blonde muttered angrily. Naruto. Thank you for saving me. Menma thanked, to which Naruto simply snorted to the side and vanished in lightning, appearing in front of Kakashi. The Uzumaki immediately created a giant fireball and shot it upwards for the guys to see it and run towards it. Naruto decided to take the bell away using taijutsu, but it didn't work. As Hatake was already holding his brother in a grip, the rest of the team appeared. Fine, Sasuke, Menma, cover me. Naruto broke free of his hold, jumped back, and took out a scroll from his pouch, which instantly increased in size. The Uzumaki revealed it and, using a summoning technique, summoned a clone of himself, who immediately disappeared after appearing. An orange outline appeared around the edges of Naruto's eyes, and the eyes themselves became yellow with vertical pupils. The boy quickly flew up to Kakashi and continued the fight using taijutsu. Another blow, and Hatake flies off to the side, disappearing into the haze. Naruto finds him again, but he, in turn, has already activated his Sharingan and fought on a par with the silver-haired one. After about 4 minutes of fighting, Kakashi lowered his defenses and Naruto was about to finish him off when his hermit mode broke and he dropped to one knee. Sensei was about to kick Naruto's head when a toad appeared behind Kakashi and took the bells. Menma and Sasuke, Naruto asked me to give them to you, said the toad, handing the bells to the boys before disappearing into the haze. Well done, guys, you all passed, the teacher smiled and disappeared into a white haze. That's Naruto-kun, Sasuke and I thought about it and we want to apologize for the bad communication with you. If it wasn't for you, we wouldn't be shinobi. So. Thank you. Menma shouted the last word and bowed sharply. Yes. Naruto, how can we thank you for your help? Sasuke continued after Namikaze. Well. It's. He scratched the back of his head. Show me home or something. Naruto suddenly passed out, falling to the ground. Menma and Sasuke wanted to take him away, but then remembered that they had absolutely no idea where the Uzumaki lived. Therefore, they had to take him to the Uchiha's house, because Namikaze had no one at home and no one could help. At this time, there were guests in the Uchiha's house. The cousin of the younger Uchiha decided to visit the family unexpectedly. Mikoto sat her down at the table and started preparing dinner, talking about Sasuke becoming a genin today. As they chatted, there was a knock on the door. Mikoto dried her hands with a towel and hurried to open the door. Behind her were Sasuke and Menma holding Naruto. "Oh my god, Sasuke, what happened?" Mikoto wondered, looking at the three boys, one of whom was clearly out of shape. "Naruto helped us pass the Kakashi-sensei exam, and then suddenly passed out, so we brought him to my house," explained the younger Uchiha. "Oh, is Setsuna-chan here too?" The brunette was surprised. After dragging Naruto into the house, the guys, along with Mikoto, carried him to the second floor and put him to bed. After that, they all started to look at each other, nodding to each other. Mikoto walked over to Naruto and pulled off the mask with the bandana. Everyone saw a young boy with 3 stripes on both cheeks. He was very handsome. Even Menma and Sasuke were embarrassed, and later discarding all thoughts, they left the room. "I'll look after him, okay, Mikoto-san?" Setsuna calmly asked. "Yes, of course," Mikoto muttered and left. Naruto woke up in an unfamiliar room. Next to him sat a girl with a beautiful face, black hair and eyes of the same color. She wore a chunin vest and slept with her arms resting on Naruto's bed. When Naruto confirmed that she was asleep, he sat down on the bed and realized that his face was exposed. He was a little embarrassed and, putting on a mask with a bandana back on his face, got up and began to wake the girl. "Hey! You are alive? What is your name?" Naruto asked, shaking the girl by the shoulder. "Eh? Have you already woken up?" "My name is Setsuna Uchiha," she said with a sweet smile. And then something tightened in Naruto's chest. Kurama's laughter was heard in his head. After so many years, he felt something again. "Where are we?" the blonde asked. "Sasuke's house." The girl replied with a smile. "Okay, tell Sasuke and Menma thank you, I've got to go," Namikaze said, disappearing in a flash before Setsuna could answer him. "How cool and cute he is, maybe I'll fall in love. Although... No, this can't be," Setsuna muttered and ran into the living room. Why did I pass out? I'm immortal," Naruto thought to himself. "Because you spent all your chakra and forgot to switch to Jashin's chakra, immortality worked anyway. In such years no one has been able to pass out from chakra exhaustion and survive, and you don't even have a headache. Maybe I fell in love again. I guarantee you this. By the way, Menma and Sasuke no longer show aggression, only respect, and it looks like they want to finally make friends with you. But with the Uchiha, always be careful. What I'm talking about. Setsuna has a crush on you too." In the Hokage's office. "Dad! Give us a higher rank mission already," Menma exclaimed, and Sasuke nodded in agreement. "Solid hemorrhoids," Naruto muttered. "Hokage-sama. Kisame Hashikage attacked your wife and children. S-rank renegade. Kushina was able to protect everyone, but they couldn't kill him, he escaped. According to information provided by Jiraiya-sama, he is one of the members of the Akatsuki who collect all the bijus. They probably think the Kyuubi is still in it. Grrgh. Not Kyuubi, but Kurama is his name." Naruto spoke in an annoyed tone in his subconscious. "Kakashi, head to her as reinforcements. I think you and Kushina will beat him. Head to the land of the mist." "Yes, Hokage-sama." The members of team number 7 shouted, after which everyone went to their homes to collect things and prepare for the mission. An hour later, everyone gathered at the gates of the village. "Naruto, why didn't you pack your things?" The way is long," shouted an outraged Menma. "I've sealed it, and now, please, let's quickly go to the Fog Village, save the Hokage family," Naruto said unemotionally and ran after Kakashi. After 2 days, they reached Tazuna's house. "Wow! Kakashi, you came quickly." Kushina rejoiced. "Brother Menma, why did they send your team? Wouldn't it be better to send the ANBU?" AKA asked as Taiyo looked at Naruto with interest. "Dad said that everyone is busy now, so they are sending our team," Namikaze explained. "Okay, you must be hungry, so unload while I cook dinner," Tsunami smiled, turning on the stove. "I'll help you, I got some curry ingredients from home," Naruto said and opened the rice and vegetables. "Wow! Can you cook?" Kushina asked. "Then I'll help you." An hour later, everyone was already sitting at the table. Suddenly everyone started looking at Naruto and Kakashi. They wanted to see their faces. Kakashi put the adult Obito's Hyunj on himself and began to eat, while Naruto decided to spoil his sensei's appetite. He folded the seals and turned into Kakashi without his mask. Kakashi choked a little and, following the student, turned into him already without a mask. Everyone looked at the two handsome men. Menma, Taiyo, and Tsunami were even a little embarrassed. After these actions, the student and the teacher quickly finished eating, loudly rattling with chopsticks, took off Hyunj, thanked for the meal and went to the balcony. "Menma, why are they wearing masks?" asked Aka Menma, who was glaring menacingly at Sasuke, but he pulled himself together and answered. "I don't know," Menma said and smiled at the brunette who just snorted at the action. During the week, nothing special happened, the teams were on duty on the bridge in turn. Pakken suddenly appeared and reported to Kakashi that Kushina had been attacked on the bridge. Naruto left the clone at home, and he went after the guys. Kushina was a little beat up. Kisame was standing in front of her, who was about to swing to take away her chakra, when Kakashi appeared and blocked the blow. "Ha! 2 versus 1. Nothing, we'll fix it," Kisame said as Zabuza and the masked girl appeared behind him. "Zabuza Momochi? Blood Mist Demon, I presume?" Kakashi asked as Menma, Sasuke, and Naruto appeared behind him, who immediately began treating Kushina. Flashback. "Naruto, you need to learn medical techniques to heal yourself and your comrades in battle. There should be some healing techniques in the knowledge library," Kurama said. "I think you're right, IQ," Naruto said with a chuckle. "Don't twist my name. This is insulting, no trick, pause. It's not nice, is it? Okay, I'm going." End flashback. "Kakashi-san, you'll take care of Kisame and I'll take Zabuza, I need his sword," Naruto said. "Fine. Guys, you will take care of this girl," Kakashi said. "I'm a guy," Haku said and attacked the genin using Makio Hyosho. "Baby, are you completely pissed off? Do you want my sword? Then your bet is your own head." Zabuza shouted and flew at Naruto, who activated his Rinnegan, and was about to cut off his head, when Uzumaki took out a kunai, soaking it with lightning chakra, and repelled the blow. This was followed by a fight using taijutsu and kenjutsu techniques, in which Naruto almost kept up with Zabuza thanks to the Rinnegan. After a minute of fighting, Naruto jumped back and dispelled the clone that was hoarding Senchakra in Tazuna's house after beating up the bandits. When Naruto entered Sannin mode, he had a clear advantage over Zabuza, who did not like this situation. Momochi decided to use the water dragon technique, which prevented Naruto from doing so by quickly running up to Zabuza and using a fire Chidori. However, Zabuza dodged it using the mist technique while hiding in it. Zabuza used a water bullet technique, but Naruto covered himself with an earthen wall, after which he summoned a Gamuken. "Toad boss is busy, Gamuken?" Naruto asked as the fog lifted. "Yes, of course I'm clumsy, but I'll help you too, boy," said Hamuken. "Can you help my team break that dome?" He pointed to the side where Sasuke, Menma and Haku were fighting. Of course, the giant toad replied, rushing to fulfill the request. Naruto created 5 clones, 2 of which started firing fireballs at Zabuza, another threw kunai with fishing lines around Momochi, and the rest disappeared into the ground. Bansho Tenin! Naruto shouted. Zabuza was rushing to Naruto, but fell into the line, which enveloped him from all sides. 4 hands came out of the ground and grabbed Zabuza's legs. Naruto rushed at him with Chidori, but Haku appeared and managed to cover Momochi with himself. Dumbass, Naruto said as he strengthened his Chidori, which got to Zabuza as well, killing both of them. Kakashi used a genjutsu on Kisame and walked back to the others watching Naruto fight. Did he kill those 2 so mercilessly? Kushina wondered. Naruto, in order not to pass out again, switched to Jashin's chakra. Time to give me some sacrifices. Naruto said, looking at the Gato gang that had appeared on the bridge. He took the sword of Zabuza and started slashing at the entire gang while laughing hysterically. A minute later, he finished off Gato as well. Despite the fact that Uzumaki was covered with kunai and arrows, bleeding, he continued to smile. Naruto, how are you? The rest of Team 7 shouted as they ran up to Naruto. Nowhere better, Naruto smiled sweetly. You're going to die now. Even Tsunade can't cure this. Kushina was worried. Don't be afraid, Kushina-sama, Naruto said as he pulled out his weapon. The wounds began to heal. But how is that possible? AKA asked. It's just that I'm a good doctor, Uzumaki told a lie, which everyone believed except for Hitaki, who knew that his student was immortal. 2 days later, Teams 7 and 14 reached Konoha and went to report to the Hokage. At the Hokage residence, Minato sat, all nervous, waiting for his wife and sons. Suddenly there was a knock on the door and the Hokage nervously replied. Come in. Hokage-sama, the mission was completed successfully, no one was hurt, we also killed Zabuza Momochi and his assistant, according to our information it was Haku Yuki, the last member of the Yuki clan, Kakashi said, as usual, in his usual tone. Fuh. Thank God you're all right. Great, you're free. Minato said and all the genin left, including Kakashi. Darling, did something happen? Minato asked, disturbed by the sight of Kushina. Darling, who is this Naruto Uzumaki? During the defense of the bridge, he single-handedly killed Zabuza and took his sword, shattered more than 100 robbers into pieces. And why is he gray-haired at only 12 years old? Why does he look like Kakashi? Is he his son? Questioned the young Hokage Kushina. Listen Kushina, this boy was born on the birthday of our sons, the fox killed his parents on his birthday, since his mother was from the Uzumaki clan, we resealed the kyubi into him. Minato said, mentally insulting himself for the blatant lie. So the fox is sealed in this boy and he is an orphan? Minato, I demand that he live with us. Said Kushina and leaving the room, slammed the door. Hedgehog tell that Jinchuriki to come to my house tonight, the Hokage ordered and the Umbu shinobi meekly left the room, bowing before that. At Naruto's house. I'll finally fall asleep, Ku, how do you like the sword? Asked the silver-haired fox boy playing with Zabuza's sword. What can I say, the sword is like a sword, you should have taken that boy's Samihata, cool little thing, the displeased fox answered. Kurama, you still can't feel Jiraiya-sama, should he give me the key? Naruto asked. He is close to the village, so he will arrive in a day or 2. The flea man answered and fell asleep. Naruto was already jumping into bed and closing his eyes, he wanted to fall asleep, but then the doorbell rang. Aaaawiawa. Who is there at this time? This is hanging at the door. I know sure. Naruto yelled. The Umbu got a little scared and left a piece of paper at the entrance, with the inscription, in the Hokage's house, at 9 o'clock, this is an order. And away. Off my back, off out off the pillow. At 8:30 Naruto left the house and went to the Hokage's house. No one looked askance at him, and this pleased the boy. During this time he had changed a lot, so no one recognized him. In the Hokage house, Kushina flew all over the kitchen. When the children asked what happened, she answered, "Kids, you will have an older brother today." Kushina spoke cheerfully, and the children began to be perplexed. Suddenly the doorbell rang. Minato opened it and saw a 13-year-old boy with a mask on the floor of his face and a bandana over his eye, while reading the book, Come Come Paradise. "Hey Naruto-kun, come in." Minato invited the silver-haired one, and he simply nodded and without taking his eyes off the book went into the apartment. "Hi Naruto, what are you doing here?" Menma asked, even more perplexed. "I don't know. The damn Umbu didn't let me sleep and came late at night and said that I was ordered to come here. Hokage, tell Hedgehog not to come across to me again," Naruto said, looking at his father with an annoyed and sleepy look. "All right Naruto." Minato smiled, touched by even such a look from his unspoken son. "Oh Naruto-kun, are you here yet? Sit down, we'll feed you," Kushina said, seating everyone at the table. "So why did you invite me, Hokage-sama?" "Well, the fact is that Kushina and I decided that now you will live with us," Minato replied. "Yes, since you are an Uzumaki and at the same time an orphan, we decided to give you shelter," Kushina added. "Hokage, can I have a few words with you? On the roof of the residence to have a little chat," Naruto said as he vanished in a white blaze. "To answer your question, yes, he knows Hiration," Menma said and smiled proudly for his friend. The Hokage also teleported to the roof of his residence and saw Naruto standing on the railing. "Father, you got a nice little village," Naruto said unemotionally. "I'm glad you're calling me your father right away." Minato smiled. "Yes, a father who abandoned his son on the day he was born doesn't deserve such a title," Naruto said and looked at Minato with a soul-piercing look. "How do you know that? Who told you?" Minato looked surprised, looking a little nervous. "Listen, don't be afraid. I won't take the path of revenge. Revenge breeds hatred, and hatred breeds even more hatred, and this circle can be broken only if you forgive and reconcile, and I really wish for peace." Naruto smiled, all the same. "I don't know what to feel for you at the moment. You are nothing more than Hokage to me, and Kushina with Menma, Akai, and Teiyo are nothing more than friends and not the best, so I refuse this offer and take Menma to the brothel or she'll be completely lost," Naruto said as he watched his father's reaction. "The mind will be lost. And I mean to the brothel?" Minato was perplexed, although he was far from worried about this statement. And Naruto's refusal itself, because even having foreseen this refusal, it was not pleasant to hear such a thing. Even if you're Hokage, the Uchiha needs to be watched, under father, Naruto said with a slight smirk and disappeared in a white flash of lightning, leaving Minato alone with his thoughts. After Naruto disappeared in the flash, Minato tensed up a bit and teleported home. "Honey, where's Naruto?" Kushina asked. "Children, honey, I have to tell you something," Minato said and sat down on the couch. October 10th 12 years ago, was attacked by a nine-tailed fox demon that was released from Kushina by a masked man. After the battle with him, it turned out that it was my long-dead student Obito Uchiha. Then I teleported to the fox and after a long battle, I decided to seal the fox in my son." Minato spoke. "Stop. Am I a Jinchuriki?" The law about not telling children who Jinchuriki existed in this world, but Danzo rumors leaked through the ANBU, Menma was surprised. "And you shut up. I still need to chat with you a little, otherwise I'm completely lost." So, on that day, we had twins. The first was named Naruto, and the second was you, Menma. Naruto came out earlier and looked more cheerful, so I decided to seal the fox in him. I teleported back to the Kyubi and Danzo sacrificed himself to seal the tailed one into my son, after which he died. Minato said with a sad look, remembering those terrible moments. Darling, what's all this about? Did you just want to tell that they had an older brother? Kushina was perplexed. So I'm leading to the fact that they have an older brother, Namikaze said and lowered his head. Dad, what are you talking about? Naruto. Stop Naruto. Is the Uzumaki Mai, Menma said, already slowly guessing what his father was talking about. Minato, tell me you didn't know. Kushina said menacingly. I. Minato couldn't say anything. He didn't know, due to the fact that the Kyubi was sealed in me, my pulse weakened, and Hiruzen took my body, placing a fake corpse in the grave, then said that the Kyubi was resealed into a new child, and he found out about it just now, en route. Naruto said as he appeared in a flash. Kushina was now playing with different emotions, anger, joy, pity. But even so, she shouted the name of the silver-haired one with a smile and tears in her eyes, and jumped to hug him. He didn't resist. Hey kid, it's better not to anger this woman, but also play emotions, any kind, if you want to impose self-genjutsu, emotions and love for the family. Kurama said in his subconscious. But this was not necessary. Naruto was crying, smiling and was happy that he felt his mother's hug. He would give anything to prolong this moment for another 5 centuries. Now he was truly happy. After hugging his mom, Naruto quickly wiped away his tears and returned to his stone face. In any case, I'm not going to live with you, I'm fine alone. I'm also angry with you that you didn't follow up on the third one. By the way, Hokage, I'll deal with Menma myself, if I decide to confess, Naruto said without emotionally looking at his father, whose heart broke every time when his son called him Hokage. Okay Naruto, since it's your wish, you can live alone, but you will have different privileges as a member of the Hokage family. People also need to know who you are. Minato spoke. So it's all fine, of course, but it seemed to me, or did you reject the offer from Naruto-kun's mom? The bloody habanera, whose hair was already divided into 9 parts, said menacingly. I warned you, Persimmon said in the subconscious. Naruto and Minato got nervous so they both immediately teleported to the head of the first Hokage. Well then, I guess I'll go. And Jiraiya has the key, right? Naruto asked. Yes, why do you need it? Yes, Naruto said and disappeared into the sky, while Minato remained and looked at the beginning of Konoha, realizing that today he would grab a lot of stars for 2, right on the head with a frying pan. The next morning, Naruto got up like yesterday. He had a hard day, so he decided to sleep well. After he had eaten well, he got dressed and went out into the street. Today he decided to rest, so he went to the hot springs. After he undressed and began to bathe, he saw a man about 40 years old who was following the girls behind the wall through a tube. Jiraiya, I myself understand Volume 4 is coming soon? Naruto asked without leaving the source. Kakashi didn't think you liked springs, the old man replied without looking. I'm not Kakashi, Naruto Uzumaki is my name, teasing Shino, who was also swimming, Naruto said. I see, I didn't think that I also had young readers. Wait, if you are an Uzumaki, then you must have red hair, Jiraiya pricked up. I'm a half-breed Uzumaki, the silver-haired man explained. You're not Kakashi's son, by any chance? Jiraiya asked. No, I'm your student's son. Said Naruto and disappeared in a flash leaving a note. I'm waiting at the training ground number 7, if you have any questions, go to the Hokage. Jiraiya was a little surprised, but after that he continued to search for material for his book. Naruto was walking around Konoha and decided to eat in Ichiraku. When he went there he saw Sasuke and Menma chatting sweetly. Naruto's nerve started to go out. So what's going on here, lovebirds? Naruto asked irritably. And you're an Uchiha, otherwise I don't want to spoil Setsuna's mood because of your stupidity. Brother, where are we going? Menma asked, at whom Sasuke glanced strangely. In the sense of a brother? Asked the Uchiha. Well, I'll tell you later. The blonde replied. We'll give you brains, the Uzumaki replied. In what sense? The Uchiha and Namikaze did not understand. Because you are the children of the most influential people in the village and want to ruin the reputation of your families, the ash-haired man asked. What? How did you guess? The Uchiha was surprised. Yes, everyone has already figured out, except for the Hokage and Fugaku, that you are secretly meeting. The correction is on me as a member of the team. After that, Naruto took them to a brothel, where they had a good time under henge, smiley face. In the morning, Naruto quickly jumped out of bed and went to wash his face. Ugh. Kurama is just a kick-ass. Silverhair spoke in a shocked tone in his subconscious. And what happened? Tailed asked in surprise. Yes, I had a dream that I was invited to the Hokage's house, then they offered to live with them, and then for some reason I confessed to my father that I knew everything and covered him in front of the whole family, accusing the third Hokage. Well, then it turned out that Menma and Sasuke met and then I took them to a brothel, and I also met Jiraiya and... In short, what the hell was going on? What can I say? Yesterday you were indeed invited to the Hokage's house, but about Menma and Sasuke, they are clearly showing interest in each other. Jiraiya will arrive in Konoha tomorrow evening and he will head to the hot springs as usual. It's me, I guarantee you, baby. Kyubi replied with a smirk. In hit. And what to do? Well, if they really want to take you in, then just politely refuse and run away, but about Menma and Sasuke, it's up to the readers. Kurama said, stop. What other readers? The blonde wondered. Anyway, I haven't trained for a long time, so it's worth going to the training ground, and in the evening I'll wash up and go to the Hokage. After that, Naruto ate, dressed and went to the training ground. At the training ground. Ku, do you have a call? Naruto asked. Yes, only there is no hermit mode, but there is a fox sage mode. It is similar to the Sage of the Six Paths mode, only half, the fox clarified, but even you will have to spend 8 years studying this mode. In my world time works the same way like Toad's. But today you need to go to the Hokage, but signing the contract is not a problem. Here are the prints. The Nine-Tail said, showing the seals that Naruto had made and biting his finger, summoned a scroll with a small fox that showed what to do. After signing the treaty, he summoned a fox the size of Gamabunta A and with 8 more tails. After a little chat with him, Naruto realized that the ANBU would arrive and it would be hot, so he quickly ran from the training ground. At home, he bathed, hung his clothes on the dryer and dressed himself more decently, again went out into the street. After 20 minutes of walking, Naruto knocked on the door of the Hokage's house. This time it was Kushina who opened it. About. Hello Naruto-kun, we've been waiting for you. Come to the table. The whole family was already sitting at the table, including Minato. So why was Hokage-sama called? Naruto asked. Well, you see. Kushina and I decided to adopt you. Minato replied with a smile. The Hokage children choked a little and cleared their throats at that answer. Unfortunately, I have to refuse, I'm better off alone. By the way, Hokage, can I talk to you later? Without giving Minato an answer, Naruto disappeared in a white flash of lightning. And what was that? Teo asked. Okay father, Sasuke and I decided to take a walk today, so I have to go. Menma said and slipped away. Dad, don't they think that Menma and Sasuke are a little, that? AKA asked. I don't mind. Laughing said Kushina, and after the start of the discussion, why did Naruto refuse? Fu. Ku, well done, huh? Naruto asked. By the way, Jiraiya came to the village, he is at the Konosuba springs. Okay, I went. As he approached the spring, Naruto saw Jiraiya looking over his shoulder. Jiraiya-sama, are you saving up material for a new book? Cannot wait. The silver-haired man began a dialogue. Wow! Do I have young admirers too? Jiraiya was surprised. Stop! Are you spying on boys? What the hell? Naruto was freaking out. Well, you know, the girls read me too. They asked me to write a book in the style of yaoi, so I'm looking for material here. Okay, let me help you with this, and you give me one favor, you will find out later. Said Naruto. Well, what can you offer? Asked the hermit. Well, the son of the Hokage and the son of the head of the Uchiha clan, will you please? The Uzumaki suggested with a sneer. Stop, are you saying, what is Minato's son? He didn't believe the words of the boy Jiraiya. Well, if you don't believe me, they have a date right now, we can take a look. Naruto laughed and led the perverted hermit behind him. Naruto and Jiraiya approached the restaurant where Naruto sensed them. They sat opposite each other and holding hands, chatted about something cute until they brought food. Jiraiya and Naruto put on henge, and went into the restaurant. They sat close to the beloved. Well, it's just the fuck you needed, ah you my little rascals, laughing face eavesdropping on their dialogue. Sasuke, what do you think? Parents have already understood that we are with you, well, do you understand? Menma asked. That I'm in your ass, Sasuke clarified. First of all, this was not yet, and secondly, more seriously. The blonde was indignant at the words of the Uchiha. Well, I don't know about fathers, but our mothers always giggle when we are together. Therefore, I think that they both know and approve, and the fathers, the brunette stopped. Okay, then we'll think about it, let's eat, Menma said when the food arrived. They ate for 20 minutes, then paid and left. The perverted followed them. After, the lovers walked for about 5 minutes, it was dark, so they did not worry about being noticed holding hands. So they headed to the Hokage rock. They sat on the head of the second and looked at the moon without letting go of each other's hands. How beautiful, Sasuke said looking at Menma. Yes, cool moon, Blondel said and pressed his head against the shoulder of the Uchiha, who rested his head on the guy's head. Menma, will we be together for a long time? The Uchiha asked. Until the end of days, the blonde said and grinning. He threw the Uchiha on his back and kissed him on the lips with a passionate kiss. They kissed for 4 minutes and then pushed their lips away from each other. Menma, can we go to my place? Parents are at some kind of event and Itachi's brother is probably busy as always, Uchiha suggested. I agree, said the blonde kissing Uchiha, fucking just well, what's up? After they went to Sasuke's house where Uchiha threw young Namikaze on the bed and they drank hot coffee together. I'll have to tell Minato all this, Jiraiya thought. In case anyone is wondering, Naruto was just following Jiraiya and reading a book. Occasionally hanging out with Kurama, he didn't care about the young couple. What do you think is keeping me in the village? Definitely not the family and the residents, the family dumped me, and the residents hate me, Silver-haired asked. Well, I don't know, comrades, maybe? Or Kakashi? Answered the question with a question read. No, definitely not because of those doves. As for Kakashi, I don't know, but I don't think it's because of him that I'm staying in the village. Well, I see, it's because you love Uchiha, Kurama said with our smirk. What are you talking about, flea-bitten? I'm not like Menma. I don't like this Sasuke in Greece. Silver-haired got angry. Yes, I'm not talking about this motherfucker, but about Setsuna. Mr. Kurama interrupted ours. Ahem, that might be one of the options, Naruto said and ended his connection with the Kyuubi as he continued reading. Well, Jiraiya-sama, now my condition, the blonde began to say. Well, do you want to be my student? Jiraiya wanted to continue, but Naruto interrupted him. I need the key to the Nine Tails cage, the Uzumaki stated in a serious tone. I see, so you're a Jinchuriki, but why should I give it to you? Jiraiya asked incredulously. I could say, like, let's fight, and if I prove my strength, you will give me the key. But, you owe me anyway, due to the fact that I gave material for a new book, so run the key, Naruto said. Smart, but are you sure? Why do you need a key? Sannin asked. In order to open the jar with a sprat, well, also free the fox, Naru answered seriously. You know, if you're so sure of that, it's okay, agreed Sannin, who was so tired that he believed that Naruto needed a key for a jar of sprats. The hermit summoned a toad, which contained a scroll with a key. Stop. Are you saying that all this time, the toads had the key? The ash-haired man was indignant. Yes, why? The toad hermit did not understand. Yes, I also have the call of toads, but okay, give me the key faster and disperse. After Naruto took the scroll and went home. When he arrived, he lay down on the bed. Then he went down into the subconscious and opened the cage. Finally. Ahaha. Silly boy. I thought that you could make friends with me. Great, I could not finish, Naruto interrupted him. You can yell quieter, I want to sleep. Let's talk tomorrow, said this, Naruto, and fell asleep. And Kurama just laughed and went to bed. In the morning, Naruto was awakened by Kurama's snoring. I got up, went to the bathroom and took all the water procedures. Ate rice with curry. Then he got dressed and went outside. Today he left early, so he was not late for a meeting with the team to pick up the next task. On the way, he saw that the Suna Genin in cat ear jumpsuits with tattoos and some bullshit on his back was holding the third Hokage's grandson in the air, and the girl on the left was trying to calm him down. Naruto removed the weight seals and stepped behind the puppeteer. Have you lost your fear? Offend the grandson of the third Hokage. Naruto said in a grave voice and put a kunai to the throat of the dog. No. Who are you? The puppeteer mumbled. That's not the point, now put the kid down quickly, Uzumaki said in the same tone again. Suddenly, he saw his younger brother Aku, who was with Konohamaru. AKA, you're a genin too. Why didn't you help the venerable son of the third? Looks like the Hokage made a mistake when he made you genin. Okay, let's go, what did you forget here, although you probably came to the Chunin exam? Naruto spoke in the same tone. Yes, but how did you know? We've been told that the Konoha genin won't find out until tonight. Surprised Temari. Got it, cut off silver-haired. But how? Kankuro wondered. 3 San genin came to Konoha, they also run into the inhabitants, which means they came to the event, and Konoha will not be able to do anything to you, because then a war will break out. Naruto said. Naruto-kun, there are actually 3 of them, and I don't think that Sand, because of 2 genin, will break out a war. Refuted all the facts of AKA. Blunt. The third is sitting there on a tree branch, and they are also the children of the 4th Kazekage, Sabaku no Temari, Kankuro, and Gaara, the Jinchuriki of the One Tail. When he said the last words, everyone flinched except for Naruto. Haha, you say such things and don't be afraid of me. By releasing his ki, Gaara frightened everyone even more, but Naruto didn't even flinch. You know demon power is cool, yes, but 9 demon power is cooler, Naruto said and released Kurama's ki. Everyone almost passed out, and Gaara just fell to his knees. So you're Kyuubi? Gaara said with a smile. Listen, try to befriend the One Tail and you might get even more power, and you'll be able to sleep as well, Naruto suggested. Why should I trust you? Naruto turned on Kurama mode with the cloak, and after convincing Gaara, he realized that he was late. After he met the team, they headed towards the Hokage. Kakashi, you Sasuke and Menma go to the center of the village, there is a stall there, it is often robbed, and you Naruto has to complete an S+ rank mission, but it's not that difficult. A daimyo and your kids jumped and you have to look after them, term week of missions, there will also be one Chunin with you, she is already in place. Hi Hokage-sama. Everyone shouted and left the office. Kakashi-san, I already know about the Chunin exams, so I went on a mission, okay? Naruto asked who Kakashi wanted to stop. Okay, he replied and returned to the young couple. When Naruto arrived at the address, a girl a year older than him opened the door. Oh Naruto-ken, so you were assigned to help me? Asked the surprised Setsuna with the boy in her arms. Yes Setsuna-chan. Entering the room said silver-haired. Wow, how many children are there? The guy was surprised. Naruto-kun, I have to tell you something. Preface. Naruto-kun, meet me. These are Chaisher, Murata, Kasami, Laven, Ichinos, Endo, Goenji, Kazemaru, Fubuki and Hiroto, these are all the children of the daimyo counselors who jumped into the village. All of them are boys, so I asked the Hokage to send some boy to help me. I'm glad they sent you. Said a happy Setsuna. Alright, let's split the responsibilities right away, Naruto replied seriously, hiding his joy. Okay, then you decide. The Uchiha smiled. She was very similar in appearance to the young Madara, after all, she is his granddaughter. Well, then you take care of the children, and prepare food for them, and I will clean up, wash clothes, and amuse them. Uzumaki suggested. You know. What? The guy was perplexed. Naruto-kun, I have something to confess to you. The girl said shyly. And in what? I cannot cook. She shouted. The handprint on Naruto's forehead remained for more than a day. They've gotten really close this week. Naruto loved her and knew the feelings were mutual, but he couldn't help it yet. The Chunin exam was coming soon and all his thoughts should be on him. On the last day, Naruto felt someone else's chakra and went to her. He saw Shinobi Genso no Sato, who wanted to steal the children. Naruto took out a decapitator and attacked the shinobi of the illusory village. The shinobi took out a kunai and they had a kenjutsu battle in which Naruto without the Rinnegan and Sannin mod dominated the shinobi. The ash-haired man created 4 clones that fought the lions. Great fireball technique. Naru yelled and blew out a giant fireball with a diameter of 16/16. Illusionary wall. A reinforced concrete wall appeared in front of the equipment, which stopped the equipment and stood as if it didn't feel it. From behind the wall, a shinobi jumped out using the poison dragon technique, but Naruto used the mud wall and defended himself. After he created 10 clones, they went to fight Jonin in taijutsu and humiliated him to the fullest, but he activated the first gate and dispelled all the clones. So you own the gates of life? The Uzumaki was surprised. Yes, which means you lost. The Jonin quickly attacked Naruto. Now he was losing. In the end, he got tired of it and, lifting the bandage, opened his eye with the Rinnegan. They also fought in taijutsu for a long time. The Uzumaki soon sealed the sword back into his left hand. They fought for a long time, but not one missed a beat. The guy with his left hand wanted to hit Shinobi in the stomach, but he moved away a little so that his hand would not reach him, but suddenly Zabuza's sword opened out of Naruto's hand and pierced the man. You were worthy against. I didn't have time to finish how the man began to melt and turned into water. Damn water clone. But when did he? The boy was perplexed. Then behind the illusory wall when you used that fire technique. Said the shinobi from behind Naruto who cut the 5th gate. He quickly began to hurt Naruto. He was bleeding from his mouth. Then he activated the Ninetales mode and began to dominate. Kato-dori. A fiery Chidori appeared in his hand and pierced the heart of the Jounin of the illusion village. During the fight, Naruto's mask was torn and only a forehead protector remained, which he pulled over his eye. The next morning, the children were handed over to the daimyo and reported to the Hokage. Into the subconscious. "Hello, Orange Carbuncle," the boy grinned. "You, too, the pervert under the mask. This time I saw what dreams you had with the Uchiha," the fox sneered. "Yes, I did not dream about how I slept with Sasuke." The silver-haired man began to resent. "I'm talking about Setsuna." "Idiot." "Well, that's okay. Speaking of Uchiha, today is Sasuke's birthday. It would be worth coming to him, otherwise he invited me, and I winked with my left eye, but I have it closed." "Do what you want." Naruto went to the market, choosing a gift. Walking around for a bit, he stopped at the scarf section. Having chosen one, I went to buy a gift bag. Having bought, put a scarf in it and went to the Uchiha quarter. When he knocked, Sasuke opened the door for him. "Hello." Didn't recognize Sasuke's teammate without the mask even though he saw him. "It's me, Naruto, I still decided to come, here's a present for you," Naru said as he held out the bag containing the rainbow scarf. Sasuke glared at Naruto, then laughed and invited his friend. Parents were sitting downstairs, and Sasuke's friends were in the room, so they went there. "Oh, Naruto, you're here too." Menma was surprised to recognize his brother. "Naruto? It's you? For the first time I see you without a mask." Sakura was surprised, looking at Naruto with a loving look. The girls looked the same, and the boys were jealous. "Let's play truth or dare, guys," Kiba suggested, and everyone started nodding. "Hemorrhoids," Shika and Naru said at the same time. They would make a good couple. Sakura thought and chuckled. "Hey, you big-headed, I've got all kinds of yaoi. Nude in my story." "Shut up or the readers will beg you," said the author, who appeared in front of Sakura and punched his eye and ass with a fork once, and then disappeared. "Beta, ahahaha, oh I can't." "And who was it?" Nobody was perplexed. "Oh, who cares, let's play," Ino screamed. After the death of his wife and best friend, Hiruzen was left with only his students, Jiraiya and Tsunade. The former began to travel and spy on organizations, while Tsunade began to drink and gamble. He hardly met them. Every day he went to the cemetery and scolded himself for being weak that day and not being able to sew up his wife and friend. "If it wasn't for that fox. It's all his fault. If it wasn't for him, my wife wouldn't have died and Danzo wouldn't have had to sacrifice himself to seal the fox into the new Jinchuriki. Yes. It's his fault. Poor son of Minato. He was not worthy of so many victims. He died and brought no benefit to the village. And Minato didn't even ask for forgiveness. They all must die. And this new Jinchuriki too. My God, who am I kidding? It's all, only my fault, no one else's. Minato saved the village, and I couldn't even sew up my wife and friend. What kind of hero am I? And even more so, Hokage, I'm not worthy of this title, Hiruzen said mentally, taking off his hat with the inscription, Shadow of Fire of the Third Generation. On November 20th, Hiruzen Sarutobi said goodbye to Minato and left the village and began searching for Orochimaru so that his student would not cause more harm to the village. He was looking for him for 4 years. And one day, he stumbled upon Kabut, and following him, and found the lair of the student. Orochimaru spotted him and attacked with snakes. Hiruzen used the Ring of Fire and burned all the snakes, after which the fight was brought into taijutsu. Hiruzen ate coped with Orochimaru. He was already quite old, so many things were difficult for him. He then jumped back and used 8 fireballs around the Oraclep. And he added stone needles and vacuum bullets so that his student would definitely be hurt. He summoned water from the scroll and made a small lake under the kite, and then used electric waves on it. Orochimaru didn't dodge, all the techniques hit him at once. Hiruzen thought that he had already won, but he stood up in a daze. A hand escaped from Sannin's mouth, which stretched its mouth, and Orochimaru himself crawled out of it. You still learned this technique? How many sacrifices did you spend? The old man became even more angry. Hiruzen, you are completely limp, the Sannin laughed, and snakes escaped from under Hiruzen's feet, which fettered the teacher's arms and legs. Cross of Destiny technique, Orochimaru said as he made the seals of snake, sheep, and rat. After that, a large stone cross appeared behind Hiruzen and the snake pressed him to him. Orochimaru took out a Kusanagi blade and poured wind chakra into her. Are you going to cut me until I die? How awesome of you! Hiruzen said. Oh no, it's not that simple, teacher. The snake grinned, after which he vertically poked the blade into the old man's shoulder, so that she would pass completely, as if she belonged here. Hiruzen started screaming in pain. And now, he said, and made a dragon seal. Suddenly, the snakes on his arms and legs began to bite the old man and squeeze his limbs even more. Hiruzen grumbled again. The snakes poured their poison into him, which caused him both moral and physical pain. He saw how Danzo fell after being sealed, how foxes destroyed the village, how people died, and his imagination imagined how his wife died. He spent 30 days in agony. He felt nothing, not pain, not sadness, not anger. He did not live, but lived. He did not give up, not to him, that damned snake. He will not give up, he will live until his last breath. What? Are you dead yet? Orochimaru asked with a smirk. Okay, we'll fix that now. Suddenly, one after another, the snakes began to tighten even more. Large clots of blood began to pour from the hands and feet of the old man. Second. 2. I don't feel. No arms or legs. Did I deserve them? Did I deserve anything? Couldn't do anything. Too weak. Lost to a student. Couldn't fix his brains. Didn't save, not a wife, not a friend. Not a citizen. Not a student. So why did he exist? In what way did he wash away the fact that he lived? Do you need a meaning for life at all? Oh great Kami, if he had a chance to return all this. Surely he will not be able to do anything even before his death. How is he better than his student? On the contrary, it is also his fault that his student became like this. 3. Heart beats slower and slower. 4. Pain, hissing in the ears. 5. He opened his eyes. He is in a basement. There were symbols of the Uzumaki clan emblem on the walls, and in the room there were. In the morning, Naruto took all the water procedures, ate Ikura Dan and left the house. He went to the academies and meeting his team, they went inside. When they got to the second floor, they saw 2 chunin who put a genjutsu on the door number and didn't let the genin in. Menma, wait, the less they get to the 3rd stage, the easier it will be to become a chunin. Stopped his boyfriend Sasuke. Let's go guys, Naruto said, and they walked on. When they entered Auditorium 301, everyone looked at them angrily and started releasing their ki, but the team didn't pay any attention to it. After a few minutes, the genin from Team 7, including Aku and Teiyo, entered the auditorium. A strange guy with glasses and gray hair came up to them and started chatting with them. Naruto wasn't interested, so he just went to the window. Guys, I have cards that give complete information about the opponent, do you want to take a look? Kabuto suggested. Of course, give us the dog, but Gaara, Uzumaki Naruto, Niji Hyugo, Rock Lee and Kabuto Yakushi, Menma said slyly, looking at the bespectacled man. You are smart, let's see. The first dog, but Gaara, the genin of the village hidden in the sand, owns the sand genome, as well as the one-tailed Jinchuriki. Kabuto said, smiling and adjusting his glasses. After the last words, all winced. So what do we have next? Uzumaki Naruto owns 3 elements: fire, lightning, earth. The genin of the village hidden in the foliage, the Jinchuriki of the 9 tails. Here is all the information available about him. Everyone shuddered, even more than Aki, who already knew this. So Naruto really is a Jinchuriki after all? Menma was surprised. Next, Niji Hyugo. A side branch of the Hyugo clan. Considered the genius of his generation. He has the Byakugan Dojutsu. Kabuto finished by adjusting his glasses again. Rock Lee is the genin of the leaf. Owns 5 gates of life, has no chakra, a strong opponent. I knew that he was not just a homunculus in green pajamas. Sasuke said with a slight smirk. And finally, Kabudi Yakushi. Owns a chakra scalpel, a good doctor, passed the Chunin exam 7 times, a leaf genin. Kabuto said. Strange, I haven't seen you before in the village, but your bandage proves otherwise. Kiba spoke up. Hey genin, stop talking. I'm the examiner for the first round of the Chunin exam, Ibiki Marino. Ibiki said as he entered the classroom and pressed his key. The first stage consists of a written test. Naruto, Menma and Sasuke immediately understood the essence of the exam, so they did not worry about the answers. Now it's time for the 10th question. We have already weeded out February 5th for cheating. The 10th question will be very difficult. If you fail it, then you will remain genin forever. You have the choice to stay or leave to reissue next year. Everyone was turned upside down. Everything went according to the canon, except that Naruto did not start to deliver a motivational speech and more than half of them dropped out because of this. Okay, we have already weeded out 15 teams out of 27, so whoever didn't get it passed. Almost no one understood why they were let through, but they were happy. Suddenly, a girl of about 23 years old flew in through the window. She had a poster with the inscription, Forward Youth. She explained that the second stage will take place at the training ground number 44, Forest of Death, at 9 a.m., and after everyone let go. In the morning, Naruto, having taken all the water procedures, prepared a lot of food and sealed it in a scroll, began to collect equipment. Then he sealed Zabuza's sword and went to get dressed. When he looked into the closet, he smiled slyly. There he saw what he had been waiting for. Which is over a year late. Cloak of Toad Sannin. It looked like the Hokage's cloak, only red and with black lettering, and at the end, instead of red, there were black lights. Naruto put on his newly bought black pants, green shirt and raincoat, and then went outside. Having reached the training ground number 44, he greeted Menma and Sasuke, who quietly kissed and stood next to them. Hello again. Let me remind you, my name is Mitarashi Enko and I am the examiner of the second stage. This is the Forest of Death. Each team will be given a scroll of heaven or earth. Your goal is to take the opposite scroll from the other team and reach the tower in the center of the forest. There is only one rule. Don't open the scroll until you reach the tower. You have 7 days for everything. Enko said when she saw the boy in the cloak and eye patch, who was reading a book. Mitarashi threw a kunai at him so that it hit his cheek, but Naruto caught it with his finger and, being behind Mitarashi, put the kunai back into his pouch. I see there are decent genin too. Enko said, turning around. When she did this, she approached the Uzumaki, who kissed her on the lips. Enko blushed and sent commands to her gates with a smile. And what did you do? The angry Menma asked, standing in front of gate number 16. Yeah, what kind of cloak do you have? Sasuke asked one more question. Yes, I saw that on Jiraiya-sama's back, Menma confirmed. After that, there was a signal and the gate opened. Team 7 quickly ran through the gate. Day number 1. As soon as they ran in, they headed for the branches of the trees to run along the upper tracks. Naruto, Menma and I recognize your power, so what's your plan? Sasuke asked over his pride. Our priority is just to pass the exam, so we should head to the tower. Let's not waste time on food, I have everything sealed. Naruto suggested a plan. Yeah, but we also need to get the scrolls, Menma said. Someone will get caught, Naruto said. They ran for another 6 hours, but no one got caught along the way. Then they decided to take a break. 4 o'clock. Naruto-kun, can you spot the enemies? Turn on Sannin's mod. Suddenly someone is nearby, Menma suggested. No, if there are sensors among the enemies, they will feel a surge of natural chakra. Now it takes a lot of effort to suppress the chakra so that we would not be detected, Naruto answered. And if no one will not meet along the way, like today? The Uchiha asked. You can't judge by one day. Now everyone is spending energy on foraging, so we overtake them. But in those 6 hours, I came up with a new strategy. Since we are most likely the farthest, then at night we should create as many clones as possible and start making traps throughout the forest. During the night we will block the road for several teams and they will have to bypass the traps, and it will take them a long time, so we will weed out 2 teams out of 10 passed. 8 will remain, a maximum of 8 teams, 4 teams will pass, this is 12 people. This is if you do not take into account the fact that some teams will weed out 2 or even more teams. Very few people went to the second stage. Yes, what can I say, from only we and the Shikamaru team passed our graduation. Therefore, 2 or 3 teams will most likely go to the third stage. Also, the third stage will probably be a one-on-one fight. That is, if there are 2 teams, this is 6 people, 3 fights. Fuck you, I'll be digesting this all night, Menma said. Anyway, eat carry now, and then we'll start making traps. I decided to reduce the number of commands. Well, too many commands passed in the original. I hope you don't get angry, smiley face. Night number 1. The guys created as many clones as possible, Sasuke 6, Menma 12, Naruto 250, and they went to make different traps. Some of them were elemental. For example, Naruto made traps with fishing line that activated a scroll with earth burial technique or earth spikes. Menma made futon traps that activated scrolls with vacuum bullets and air jet. Sasuke made fishing lines that activated 2 scrolls, a scroll that poured water and a scroll that activated a discharge, as well as scrolls with fireballs. They left a clone at the base to sleep. Day number 2. When team number 7 arrived at the sleepover point, they dispelled all the clones and they felt exhausted, because the number of clones that worked was many times greater than the number that rested. After that, they collected all the things and sealed them back in a scroll and then continued on their way. After an hour of running, Naruto sensed a dangerous animal imbued with the natural chakra of the forest nearby. They turned towards it and saw a giant boar with wings. Menma, do you have summoning power? Yes, but I can only summon a toad the size of you, Naruto replied. Okay, back off, Naruto said and then created a clone. Both began to put together summoning seals, after which the original bit his finger and transferred some blood to the clone so that it would not dissipate. The original summoned a fox with 6 tails, and the clone a toad with the size of a fox. They were both half the size of a boar. Naruto, you could summon one. Large? Sasuke asked. Such a large volume of chakra would be too hard for me to hide, Naruto said. The fox jumped on the boar from above, and the toad came up from the bottom into a dense one and, clinging to the boar, jumped to the top, dragging it along with it. From above, the fox was waiting, which did something like a tailed mini-bomb and swallowed it with a laser, shot at the boar, piercing it through so as not to hurt the toad, which in turn poured all the oil on the animal, and then looked at Naruto. The same nodded to Sasuke and together they used a large fireball and burned the boar. Naruto, I wonder why we even did this, Menma asked. Look, Naruto said and took out a large scroll that absorbed all the natural energy that was released from the boar. now we can use this as a trap scroll. If someone gets caught, then the same boar will revive from the scroll, maybe a little smaller and weaker, Naruto explained by canceling the summons. Smart, Sasuke said. I knew that we would come across some kind of creature along the way, so I put the Hiratian seal on one of the traps. I can replace the earthen burial scroll with this, the silver-haired man said, after which he did the above and returned to the doves with the help of the same Hiratian. You really are very strong and smart. But how did you achieve this? Sasuke asked, who was clearly jealous. The secret of the firm, Silver-haired smiled and went on. Without a mask, he was much more comfortable or something, although he himself did not know why. In the evening they were caught up by a team from the fog. Well, hello, what kind of scroll do you have? One of the fog asked. Earth, Naruto lied. Damn. We have two, we don't need an extra battle, so for now, said the same boy and turned around, lowering his guard. Menma immediately ran up to him and hit him on the back with the Rasengan, knocking him out. Leave these to me, and you run, Naruto teleport me then to your place in minutes, so 15, Menma said. Good, Naruto said, and he and Sasuke continued on their way. Menma ran at the girl with orange hair. Menma used vacuum bullets, but the girl defended herself with a water wall. After she used water bullets, Menma responded with an earthen wall, after which he created a shadow clone that ran out from behind the wall, and he went underground. The clone began to attack girl in taijutsu. He was able to do this with difficulty, as the second from the fog fired at him with earthen bullets. Suddenly, four more appeared behind the clone and grabbed the girl, and the first clone threw her up. After that, another clone hit her in the stomach and sent her to the second opponent. He wanted to catch him, but another clone of Menma grabbed him from the ground, and he himself flew out of the ground and hit the opponent's stomach with a Rasengan, then turned around and finished off the girl with the same Rasengan. Then he took the scroll of the earth. So how strong were they? Naruto asked. Not really, I spent chakra on vacuum bullets and Rasengan in vain, kunai and clones would also be enough, said Menma. In any case, we are no longer separated, not a step. If anyone wants to write, we go together. What? Menma was perplexed. Well, what will you see, Cucumber Sasuke, so what? Naruto asked. Why, I mean, I don't want to see his unit, Namikaze answered, blushing. I know what you want. Where are such conclusions from? Menma was furious. Because you let him in at the Uchiha's house, Naruto snapped. What? How do you know that? Surprised Sasuke. Don't tell anyone. Please. The blonde said. I won't tell anyone, just Jiraiya-sama. I needed material for a book about queers, so I advised you, Naruto explained. You what? Jiraiya will tell his father. Bye, farewell to Menma's life. Oh come on, you won't have anything right now, you need to focus on X-Men. Night number 2. So yesterday we didn't get much sleep, so now we're doing 5 clones and we'll sleep with 4 and 1 clone for protection. In the end there will be a triple defense, Naruto said. Good idea, so let's eat and go to sleep, said Sasuke. The night has passed calmly, apart from the fact that the clones heard someone fighting the boar. Judging by the fact that giant hands were visible through the forest, this was Shikamaru's team. Day number 3. Good morning. Dispelling all the clones woke up Naruto's comrades. Good morning. So let's have breakfast now and discuss today's plan, Naruto suggested, after which they went to eat. So guys, here's the plan for today. Since we have the necessary scroll, we will hide our chakra to the fullest and run with all our might to the tower, Naruto said. Of course, he could turn on the kurama mode and reach the goal quickly, but he would not show the Kyuubi's chakra in the exam. It would cause problems with the Hokage. Sorry, Menma said as he finished chewing the last loaf, and Sasuke just nodded. They jumped up the branches again. After an hour, a girl with a strange face jumped out at them. Hey Uchiha Sasuke. I came for you, Orochimaru said with a smirk. Wait Sasuke, I'm assuming you're Orochimaru? Naruto asked. Heh, some genin figured me out, and my student Enko didn't really mature at all right away, Orochimaru said, removing the skin. You won't get Sasuke's Sharingan, Naruto said. What did you get from? Orochimaru licked himself. It will attract you more, Naruto said, raising the appearance from his eye showing the Rinnegan, and then immediately summoned a clone from Mount Myaboku and dispelled it, entered hermit mode. Huh, do you own hermit mode? Interesting, Orochimaru said as he summoned the snake sage who towered over the forest. He hoped the genin would crap and get divine eyes easily, but instead saw a giant fox slightly larger than the snake sage, with 8 tails. Wow! So the nine-tailed still has its own call. Surprised Orochimaru, you will be mine. The snake started attacking the fox. Hien, deal with this snake, Naruto ordered. Yes, Naruto-sama, answered the fox. The fox grabbed the snake with his hands and pressed it to the ground, and she wrapped her body around the fox's arm and began to squeeze it. The fox began to form a giant Rasengan from the mouth. The tailed bomb and the Rasengan have the same structures, so the draft-tailed one gets the Rasengan instead of the tailed lady, and shot it at the snake, after which both dissipated. Wow, and your call is strong. Orochimaru said and attacked Naruto. The one because of the hermit mode and the Rinnegan felt this and they started a fight in taijutsu. They exchanged blows after which Orochimaru jumped back and used the technique of earthen needles. Naruto extended his hand forward and using the Shinra Tensei needles flew back to Orochimaru. He dodged and got Kusanagi flew at Naruto. The same, in turn, printed out the decapitator began to be in taijutsu. A minute passed. Naruto dispelled one more clone of which he left before the battle. There are 4 of them, no one was inferior in Kenjutsu. Orochimaru made a vertical blow. Naruto placed a block, but Orochimaru let go sword and immediately extending his arm jabbed a kunai into Naruto's stomach. He immediately switched to Jashin's chakra. Oh you bastard! It hurts! Naruto shouted and then ran forward letting his hand in and Orochimaru's kunai deeper, after which he cut off his hand and pulled it out of himself. Orochimaru began to crawl out of his mouth again, and Naruto, not knowing why, began to lick the blood from the decapitator and drew a pentagram with the same blood, after which he repainted in black with a white skeleton. Now you get it, you motherfucking bastard! Naruto said and started poking himself with his sword. Orochimaru did not understand anything when he suddenly felt pain in those places where he was injured. Orochimaru lengthened his neck and wanted to bite Naruto, but he jumped back and his outline immediately disappeared. So this is how it works, Orochimaru confirmed, after which snakes escaped from under Naruto's feet, which tied Naruto and Orochimaru bit him in the neck, leaving a cursed seal and then escaping. Naruto was in pain. But he immediately sealed the seal and suppressed the pain. Hey guys wake up, said Naruto, who woke up his friends who had fainted after explaining the situation and ran on. During the day they ran to the castle. They were the first, after Menma and Sasuke took the number, and Naruto went to the Hokage who was also in the tower. Naruto went to the Hokage's room. Knocking, he heard. Come in. Hello Hokage-sama, greeted the guy. Hey Naruto-kun. I'm glad you got through first. Is Menma alright? Namikaze asked. Yes, but I came for a different reason. Orochimaru is in the village. Naruto said in a grave voice. Come on. It can't be. Minato was surprised. Naruto took off his cloak and shirt and Minato saw the cursed seal. Kami-sama. This needs to be sealed immediately. Minato shouted. I already did it. So why did I come? Most likely Orochimaru and the Village of Sound will start an attack on the Leaf during the 3rd stage of the Chunin exams. My request that you don't pretend that you know this, just prepare an evacuation plan. Orochimaru may not destroy the village but this slippery snake will cause damage and run away, so you need to send a spy after him. He wants my body, so after the attack, I will go to him and spend 3 years with him. I will train with him and when he is weak, I will kill him. He suggested. The plan is good, but you are still a genin, I can't send you on such a task, especially since you are a Jinchuriki. If you leave the village, then the rest of the villages will not miss the chance to attack, Minato rejected. I don't think any village in their right mind would attack the Yellow Lightning village. Naru said seriously. And that's true, how are you going to pull this off? Firstly, no one except you, and possibly my team, should know about this. If someone finds out that I am a spy, then Orochimaru will also find out. He has his snakes scattered everywhere. I will flee after the attack and you must declare me a nuke-nin. He continued. I don't think everything will go so smoothly. Naruto snapped as he left the office. I hope you're doing well, son. Minato said in his mind. After 2 days, 2 more teams came to the tower. Sand Team and Inoshikacho Trio. And I thought only the Sunovs would come. Naruto said. Well, you can't always be right. Sasuke spoke. After about 20 minutes, they gathered in front of the Hokage. Congratulations, you all passed the 3rd stage of the Chunin exams. There are 3 teams of you, and these are 9 people. First, does anyone want to leave the exam? The Hokage asked. I'll leave, it's too much trouble for me. Shikamaru said lazily as he left. Hey moron. Where are you going? Decided to leave us. Traitor, let the snake bite you. Ino yelled while the Hokage and Naruto smirked. Okay, now there are 8 of you. The 3rd stage will take place in a month in the format of one-on-one battles. There will be 4 rounds in total. Therefore, 4 of you will become genin, said the Hokage. Now you can go home, don't forget, in a month at the arena. After Team 7 went to celebrate. They decided to go to Ichiraku to eat ramen. Oh Menma, Sasuke and Naruto. I haven't seen you for a long time. Tucci was surprised. Hey old man, 5 servings of ramen each. Menma asked. Of course. I guess you made it to the 3rd stage? Asked the cook who was already cooking the noodles. Yes. We all huddled in there, Menma shook himself, and Sasuke looked at him with a smile. My Kami, can you not be faggots even for a minute? The silver-haired one was pissed off. Sasuke just looked at him menacingly, crossed his arms and puffed out his cheeks. Okay, do what you want, Naruto said while Sasuke smiled and kissed Menma on the cheek. Okay, if you don't really stop, then I'll give you the snake Orochimaru to be torn to pieces. I heard he can lengthen limbs. Said the author who came out from behind Tucci and helped him steal the broth. Who else are you? Menma asked. After about 5 minutes, they began to eat and chat about all sorts of stupid things. Naruto himself did not come to them, he considered them good friends. It seems that something human remained in him, he made friends, the 7th team. He promised himself that he would protect them, unlike his real family, even though Menma was his real brother. Guys, we need to talk. Naruto said seriously. And about what? Coming out of Ichiraku, the brunette asked a question. Soon I will have to leave the village on a spy mission. I shouldn't have told you this, but I don't want you to chase after me. The only thing I want is that you Menma go to Jiraiya for 3 years of my absence for training, and you Sasuke go to Kakashi for training, also for 3 years, Naruto said. And we won't see each other? Menma was surprised. Every year we will quietly meet at the Valley of the End, since Jiraiya will also need information about Orochimaru, just like the village. I will tell you everything. Since Sasuke will be trained in Konoha, he will report everything to the Hokage, and Menma Jiraiya. Just don't tell anyone about this, but for now, let's use this month to become stronger. Naruto said and disappeared into Shunshin. What do you think, Sasuke? You and I won't see each other much. Menma asked, if We listen to Naruto, it will be great for us as we become stronger, and for the village, it will be hard for me without you but, for that the meeting will be tastier. Sasuke said with a sly smile. You don't have anyone at home again, do you? Menma said sadly, realizing that his ass would be burning for a long time after this night. The next morning, Naruto, having done all the morning procedures, went to the training ground, where he started with physical preparation. After adding weight-printed weights sat in the lotus position. Kurama, you said that it would take 4 years to complete the training, that is 4 months, but if you just learn the fighting style, and have dinner with the Toad mod of the Sannin, it will be enough for the first time, and it won't take more than a month? Naruto asked. You can, but then you still have to learn the Fox Hermit mode, 6 paths, Toad Sannin mode, you wouldn't even stand next to it. Naruto, after listening to his friend, folded the callback seals and teleported to the foxes. He ended up in the forest. The trees were as tall as Kurama's tails, where he was met by a white fox in armor, who escorted him to the fox sage. Hello Mamoru-sama, the guy greeted. Hello Naruto-kun, did you decide to learn the regimen? The sage asked. No, I want to learn the fighting style in a year, as well as combine it with the Sannin mod of toads. Naruto suggested. Interesting, okay, Kabiyama teach him the fighting style. Said the sage pointing to the fox, who stood on 2 legs with 5 tails and with a sword in his hands. He was wearing blue armor and a bandage on his forehead. Okay, Mamoru-sama, the fox said and took Naruto to the training room. From the first, Naruto learned fox kenjutsu. It was based on imbuing weapons with natural chakra. When Naruto did this, a toad's mouth appeared on the handle of the decapitator with a protruding tongue for the entire length of the sword, and the sword was covered with a toad's skin. This made the sword stronger, and also weakened the enemy when cut. Then they learned how to use such a sword. It turns out that this sword can blow fire and oil without seals. Then they began to learn fox taijutsu. It was based on the fact that Naruto soaked the Sannin's hands with chakra and they were also covered with a small peel, and also took the form of a toad's hand. Then he had to add the element of fire to his hands covered with Kazura, so with each blow the enemy received colossal damage to the chakra circulation system. The fire chakra was conducted all over the opponent's body and burned the chakraconals. After a year of such training, he learned everything about foxes. There were fox scouts, seekers, attackers and fire support foxes. He also learned that toads specialize not only in attack, but also in the wake. The summoner could see the same as the calling toad. Jiraiya often used this on his spy missions and Naruto couldn't help it. Now it's time to screw up. Kabiyama, I'm already leaving. Thank you so much for your help. You helped me a lot. The guy thanked the fox. Absolutely, Naruto-kun. Hope you get back soon. The fox smiled. Well, at least in 36 years I will return, even though it will only be 3 years for me, but I will also miss you very much. And after saying goodbye to everyone, Naruto folded the callback seals and returned to the same training ground. It was evening there. As he felt tired, he immediately went home to sleep. Rising early the next morning, he opened the food he had prepared before leaving for the callback. Then he washed and ate. I got dressed and headed to the arena. On the way he met his team and explaining why he was gone for so long, they headed towards the arena. Hello. My name is Genma, I'm an examiner for the 3rd round of the Chunin exams. There will be a one-on-one battle, who will fight with whom will be chosen by Mr. Chance. Said Genma, who had Senbon in his mouth. After that, all the genin jumped back to the waiting area for the fights and started looking at the screen. First fight. Dog no Gara vs Ino Yamanaka, Genma said as 2 genin jumped up to him, ready to fight? Yes. Both said. Hajime. Ino took out her kunai and attacked Gara. How naive, Gara said holding up his hand. Sand spilled out of the gourd, which was thrown away by Ino. She flew 5 meters and then fell. The sand fell on her and began to press on her, and then lifted her up. Surrender or... Gaara began to speak, but couldn't finish. No way. Ino said, trying to free her hands to infiltrate Gaara's mind. She asked for it. Sandy coffin. The scarlet-haired man shouted and crushed the girl. A lot of blood poured out of the sand. Everyone was in a frenzy. I didn't kill her, calmly said the guy, after he released the girl. She's lost a lot of blood, let's get her out of here, the doctors said as they ran up to the girl. Wow wow, Genma said before announcing, Sand Gaara is the winner. Now he's a chunin. Heh, Gaara smiled at Naruto. Well done, looks like you made friends with Shikaku, Naruto said as he met his friend. Yes, thanks to you. We talked a lot and became friends, now I sleep well and communicate with my family, Sandy smiled. Next fight, Menma Namikaze vs Naruto Uzumaki. Genma announced. Here it is, stranger. Silverhair smiled. Hey, look. Ah, okay. Didn't want to beat you Naruto-kun, but I have to, Menma said as he jumped down to Genma. Don't hold back. Naruto yelled as he did the same. I wonder who's stronger, Minato wondered. Ready? Yes. Hajime. Menma took out a blade and soaked it with air chakra and flew at the silver-haired one. Naruto unsealed Zabuza's sword and drenched it with the Sanin's chakra and swooped down on Menma. They exchanged blows of iron. After another 5 minutes, Naruto himself went into hermit mode by summoning a clone and shattered Menma's sword with one blow. He was not taken aback and immediately jumped back using vacuum bullets. Naruto made an earthen wall and flew with the Chidori towards Menma. He made a Rasengan and flew at Naruto. At the last moment, Naruto dispelled the technique and, being behind Menma, tried to knock him out, but he reacted and replaced. Naruto swooped down on him again and created 200 clones. They started beating the blonde, but he wasn't that simple either. He took out one of the kunai and threw it at Naruto. He simply dodged, but Menma teleported to kunai and hit Naruto with his Rasengan. But he has been replaced. So you own Hiraishin? It's commendable. The silver-haired man smiled. Hands escaped from under Naruto's feet, shackling him, and Menma flew the Rasengan at him again. Naruto quickly closed the concentration seals and covered his hands with the peel. Then he added a little fire chakra to them. He slammed his hands on the clones and freed himself and flew at Menma. Naruto grabbed Menma's Rasengan hand and it immediately fell apart before hitting his stomach with his other hand. Hurry up, your SCC is damaged, if you keep fighting you might not be a shinobi anymore. Naruto spoke. I give up. Blood ferret, Menma said. Suddenly, feathers flew from the sky and the people in the arena began to fall asleep. And the people in the flats began to attack the shinobi. 20 sound men appeared in the arena and attacked the Hokage's son, Menma and Naruto. The latter created 50 clones and grabbed Menma and ran to the Hokage. He fought with Orochimaru, the first and second. Fortunately, Naruto had the Hiraishin seal on his father and was able to penetrate the barrier. Minato-sama. Deal with the snakes, and I'll take Tolia and Karya. Whom, I did not understand the son of Minato. Well, Hashirama and Tobirama, damn it, Naruto said as he attacked the previous Hokage. Naruto did not become ceremonial and having turned on the kurama mode immediately sealed both Kage. After he began to deal with the 4 sound. Minato clearly dominated Orochimaru, so he retreated, leaving the 4 to be torn to pieces by the Hokage and his son. After about 20 minutes, all the sounders were in the lower world, and the Hokage dispelled the barrier. Minato-sama, I'm going, Naruto said as he left. Don't you dare die, Naruto. Minato shouted, releasing his son. And he fell unconscious. Naruto, without cutting off Kurama's mode, spotted Orochimaru and walked towards him. A few minutes later he caught up with him. "Baby, what do you want?" Orochimaru got angry. "I need strength in order to take revenge on the Hokage and destroy this pathetic village," Naruto said in a grave voice and with a maniac smile. "Why should I believe you? Because I'm a Jinchuriki who was abandoned by his family and hated by the village. They believed that I would forgive them everything, but I remember everyone who looked askance at me. I'll kill every one of them." Naruto lied with an even more maniacal smile. Okay. "Come with me, you'll get the great power of the cursed seal," Orochimaru said. "I know what you need from me, you will get it, but first we will destroy the village, and then you will get my body," Naruto said, already assuming a normal face. You're more interesting than I thought, let's go," Orochimaru hissed again and led Naruto into the lair. When they arrived, Naruto saw Kabuto, who began to give a tour of the Oro members' base, who himself had gone to the lab. In a few days he got used to the base and they started training. "Naruto-kun, first you need to master the second and third levels of the cursed seal, for this you need to remove this containment seal," Orochimaru said, and after his words, Naruto calmly dispelled the seal. "Okay, you have to spend 5 days in this lake without air, learn how to turn chakra into nutrients, and since you have the Rinnegan, all the elements should be available to you, so try to turn the chakra into air. When you get out of this lake, you will feel a huge surge of strength, then be careful at this moment, the cursed mark can absorb your mind and destroy your body with beautiful eyes," licking his lips, Orochimaru said. A little later, Naruto took off his cloak and shirt, and then went into the lake to the very bottom. Orochimaru looked at the cloak. "Toad-san ha?" Nothing, you'll be my toy, Jiraiya won't help you, kid," Orochimaru said and laughed until Naruto was around. Naruto immediately learned to convert chakra into useful things. Due to the fact that he used chakra instead of food, he did not have to go to the toilet. Naruto thought that this ability could be used not only in such situations, while stalking or escaping, but also to use chakra as a nutrient to keep going. Time skip 11 months. "Naruto-kun, you need to learn snake summoning SSS," Orochimaru hissed. Okay, Orochimaru-sama, 3 summons won't hurt me, that's for sure," Naruto replied, nodding. "Here is the scroll, you can sign the contract," Orochimaru said as he unrolled the scroll. Naruto, without question, bit his finger and signed the contract. "Okay, now I can teach you the technique of body replacement, this requires the bodies of living people. Orochimaru-sama, didn't you think that if you impregnate a clone with some chakra, you can use it as a victim?" stopped teacher Naruto. Interesting option, try it." Naruto summoned a Sun clone, and after putting his hand on him. After 20 seconds, Naruto was sucked into the clone. "Great! The first time. Let's go outside," Orochimaru said and led the boy out of the lair. He used a fireball technique and burned Naruto's body. Suddenly, hands escaped from his mouth and opened his mouth, and a brand new and whole Naruto came out of it. "Okay, Naruto-kun, there is a mission for you, you have to go to a village in the land of fire, there is one feudal lord who is resting there. Your mission is to kill him and take all the money," Orochimaru ordered. "Hi, Orochimaru-sama," Naruto said, bowing and jumping into the forest. After 30 minutes, he summoned 2 foxes. "Garito, go to Konoha to Sasuke, tell him to come to that place, and you Kirito, find Menma and tell the same thing." So that they both would be there by the evening. He himself went to that village. During this time, he changed his style, he wore the typical clothes of Otogakure. He didn't wear an eye patch. Over the years Orochimaru injected him with Uchiha genes and he was able to deactivate the Rinnegan. At this time, Sasuke He was walking around Konoha after a hard workout with Guy and Kakashi. During this time, he fully mastered the 3-Tomo Sharingan. I also learned 15 techniques of fire, lightning, and the 6th gate. Passing by Ichiraku, Sasuke decided to eat there. When he went there, he saw a small fox sitting on a chair. "Hello Sasuke-kun." Naruto relayed that it was time to meet at the same place. He gave the message of the owner of the foxes and dissipated. "Oh okay, can Tucci have miso soup?" Ordered food for Sasuke, and after eating, headed towards the Valley of Completion. From Menma. Menma bathed in the springs while the old man spied on the girls. Suddenly a fox jumped into the water. "Menma-kun, Naruto is calling you to that very place." The fox sent it and dispersed. "What can you do?" Menma said, and leaving the clone with Jiraiya, turned on hermit mode by running towards the Valley of Completion. Naruto had already knocked out all the guards and was in the feudal lord's room with a decapitator in his hand, which was covered in blood. What do you want?" "I'll give you everything you want. Just don't touch me," the feudal lord begged for mercy. "I want your life." Emotionless, Naruto said and cut off the old man's head. After sealing all the money, he went to the valley. Along the way, he stumbled upon robbers, whom he also calmly knocked out in 2 seconds and continued on his way. Sasuke came first as he was the closest. Menma came second. Sasuke stood on Madara's head and Menma stood on Hashirama's head. "Hi Sasuke." The blonde said with a smile. "Hi Menma, your look has changed too." The brunette smiled. "Well, Jiraiya has changed my outlook on life." Menma smiled again. "Make me read his stupid book 200 times? The brunette laughed. "Well, something like that," Menma said as he took out the book. The brunette also delivered the same book from the pouch. So he and Kakashi agreed, "Huh? Looks like," the brunette said without removing his smile. "Friends," Menma suggested. "Friends," Sasuke answered. "Well, at least one piece of good news this year," said the silver-haired one who appeared on Hashirama's head next to Menma. "Hi Naruto-kun." The blonde greeted. "Menma, how many times do you have to say? Don't call me Naruto-kun, just call me Naruto." "And hello to you," silver-haired said without changing his face. "Hey Naruto, let's get started," Sasuke said. "What to start? I didn't understand Naruto." "Well, tell us what and how, and then we." The blonde smiled. So they chatted for another 2 hours. Naruto informed them of all of Orochimaru's actions and gave Sasuke the toad to give to the Hokage. This toad was transmitting what the other toad had seen in Orochimaru's lair. After 5 minutes they dispersed and went to their teachers. After meeting up with his friends, Naruto returned to the lair where he was met by Orochimaru. "Something you were late," Sannin hissed. "I met my past comrades on the way, I had to fight." The guy lied. "Something doesn't look like you would fight." The snake suspected something was wrong. "Well, I decided to have some fun with the girls." Naruto lied again. "But you don't smell like girls." Orochi caught him again. Naruto couldn't come up with more than one excuse, so blushing, he spat out some garbage. Well, then I washed in the springs, and on the way I killed the robbers," he said. "Well, I'll have to teach you a technique tonight," Orochimaru said, gloating over his student's situation. "In the meantime, you can take a shower and change clothes." "Hi, Orochimaru-sama," the silver-haired man said, and then teleported into the room. After he took a shower and changed clothes, went to bed and fell asleep. He woke up due to a knock on the door. Opening it, he saw Kabuto. "Orochimaru-sama is waiting for you in the training room," Kabuto said as he adjusted his glasses. "Okay, I'll be there in a minute," the former blonde replied, closing the door. He changed into training clothes and teleported to the training site. Naruto-kun, today I will teach you the technique of impure resurrection, Sanin hissed, licking his lips. Hi. Orochimaru-sama. After 4 days, Naruto could summon Tolya and Haryu, Tobirama Hashirama. She and Orochimaru also began to learn the elements of wind and water. Orochimaru kept trying to somehow use the boy's genes to gain immortality, but immediately after the genes lost their connection with the silver-haired one, they split. Sanin didn't like it very much. Then he decided to make a hybrid of a man-beast out of Naruto. For example, how he is a snake man. And Naruto is a fox person or the same snake. Naruto-kun, I decided to give you one more ability, hybrid human, how do you like it? Orochimaru asked the kid. Interesting, but I don't want to be like some kind of animal, so I refuse, silver-haired reflected. I can make sure that your body does not undergo changes, but it is deadly, even I would not risk it, Sanin said. Well, if it's possible, I'm immortal, silver-haired replied. That's great, which animal will you choose? Foxes? Snakes? He asked. And foxes and snakes and toads. Naruto answered him. And you're smart, okay, let's do. After that, 9 months passed. Animal genes have completely taken root in Uzumaki, he has mastered all the advantages. From the appearance, only the eyes have changed. They were purple with a cross pattern inside. All of his senses were enhanced by 500%. He could jump 500 meters without using chakra. He could also activate 8 tails like summoning foxes if he wanted. They were long and could shoot fireballs. From the snakes, he got elongated limbs like Orochimaru. He also fully mastered all the elements and created some techniques such as vacuum fireball, giant vacuum ball accompanied by fire bullets, fire discharge. A ring of fire appeared around the enemy inside of which a current beat, an earthly hell. The enemy was buried in a hole and his entire body besides the head was burned, and even more small things, such as the air dragon. Naruto-kun, it's time to plan your attack against the leaf. Orochimaru said. You've been waiting for this for so long. Of course, Orochimaru-sama. I already imagine how the snakes devour the fourth and his family. Ha 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 ha, evilly laughing, he accepted his Manbayakov smile. That is great. First, you will sneak into the village and place explosive seals on the houses, then you will go to the ninja academy and summon a medium-sized snake. When she destroys the academy, you will need to teleport all the sounders in front of the Hokage residences while the Jonin and Chunin are near the academy. The sound men will start using a combined top-class genjutsu that will throw all people in the vicinity, counting the Chunin and Genin in genjutsu. After that, they will kill all these people. Then you will summon Hashirama and Tobirama and make them attack Minato. I will deal with my subordinates with the ninja next to the academy. Until the shinobi think over all the plans, you will blow up all the houses and I will summon Hiruzen, who will help the past Hokage defeat Minato. After that, you will need to throw Kakashi into a genjutsu, so that he would summon the god of death and seal Minato, if something goes wrong. Let's do this at a time when Jiraiya and Tsunade are not in the village, as it will be problematic with them. Also don't forget to bomb the Hokage Rock. The evacuees will be there. Got it? Hi Orochimaru-sama, Naruto said. And now I'll go to the village of sound to persuade the local shinobi, while you practice. Orochimaru said and disappeared into the snakes. Naruto began to write down all of Orochimaru's plans and summoning the toad, he gave him a note, and then dispelled it. In the Hokage's office. Kushina, why did you come here? Minato asked his wife, who entered the office. Why did I only find out now that the Jinchuriki became Nukkinen? The Uzumaki asked angrily. Well, you know, I didn't want to worry you. The henpecked underfather smiled. Why did you declare him a Nukkinen? You know that Orochimaru powdered his MO. Kushina didn't have time to finish when a toad appeared on the table. Minato, this is a note from Naruto-kun, it looks like something serious. The toad said and dissipated. That was his request to Kushina, he's spying on Orochimaru. Minato said as he opened the note. You sent a child on such a mission. He might die. She got angry. He prevented his friends from being killed during the second stage on Chunin when he fought against Orochimaru. Also, judging by his cover then on the roof, he somehow subdued the Nine Tails. Minato said and began to read, gloomier every second. Impossible. Kushina was surprised. Urgently. Gathering of all Jounin and clan leaders. In a year there will be an attack. Minato shouted. What? Kushina did not understand, and Bushnik on the roof, having said hi, disappeared in Shunshin. Naruto relayed that Orochimaru is preparing an attack on Konoha in a year. It was supposed to happen in 3 years after Naruto left, but in a year it will only be 2 years and 7 months. Minato was shocked. Meeting in an hour. Why did you call us Minato? Asked Hayashi, head of the Hyuga clan. Orochimaru is preparing an attack on the leaf. It will take place in a year, thank Kami, we have a detailed plan of action for him, if not for this, then we would have been destroyed for sure. Minato said nervously. Calm down, Hokage-sama. Where does such information come from? Fugaku asked. Okay, I'll have to tell you. A year and a half ago during Orochimaru's attack, Naruto Uzumaki helped me survive on the rooftop. Before that, we agreed that since Orochimaru wants to get his body, he will go to him and tell us all his plans. Every day, a toad came to me with a note that Naruto sent. And today he sent me this note. He then handed the note to Hayashi, who began to read it out loud. With every second, the clan leaders and Jounin grew gloomy. Therefore, we need to develop a plan to fully repel his attack. Naruto, for his part, will also do his best. After all, the trump card of Orochimaru's plan is precisely he. How is Naruto going to throw Kakashi into a genjutsu? Inoichi asked a question. Naruto couldn't exactly explain it to me in a note, but the fact that he can do it is clear even to a child, since Orochimaru trusted him. Minato answered the question. Can we trust the Jinchuriki? Why did he even decide to help the village, Minato? Shikaku asked this time. Naruto met with his team at the Valley of Completion according to Sasuke, who also shares information from Naruto. He is definitely on our side, and now we have to figure out how we can stop the attack on Konoha. In Orochimaru's lair. Already returned. Orochimaru-sama. Met Master Kabuto. Yes, Kabuto-kun. Where is Naruto? Sanin asked a question. Just finished my workout and is taking a shower, the silver-haired bespectacled man replied. Okay, you can rest too, the serpent said and walked on. Naruto at this time was thinking about how to deceive Orochimaru with his plans. He couldn't blow up the houses, it would cause a lot of harm to the village, but if Orochimaru didn't see the smoke from the explosions, he would immediately understand everything and slip away again, and then the whole operation would fail. Hey Naruto, you can use smoke seals instead of explosives. Kyubi suggested the idea. Kurama, you are a genius. Silverhair said and began drawing out a plan to attack Konoha and defend it. After an hour, he came up with several versions and gave it to another toad, dispelled it again, and then went to bed. At this time at Menma. Menma, you must become even stronger, you must complete your father's technique, in a year there will be an attack on Konoha, but no one but you should know about this. Said the perverted old man. Okay, Yero Senin, let's go to the bathhouse. Said the blonde, getting ready for the bathhouse. I told you. Let's go train. I'll teach you more elemental techniques, otherwise I'm completely softened. The pervert yelled at the student and they went to train. For a year, Orochimaru thought out the whole plan with accuracy. He trusted Naruto, so he did not think that his plan would fail miserably. Naruto-kun, attack time. Orochimaru said while licking his lips. Finally. I will destroy this poor village. Naruto changed his face again. You know, every time you make such a face, it seems to me that you have some kind of split personality. Orochimaru reacted to this. It doesn't matter, in any case, here's the kunai, give them to the sound men, and I'm off to put the seals. The Uzumaki said in a cheery voice and went to Konoha. When he arrived, he saw Izumo and Kotetsu fooling around, and when they noticed the silver-haired man, they took on a serious face, and Izumo approached Naruto. First name, last name, purpose of arrival, duration of visit, place of birth? Izumo asked. Endo Mamoru, going to live in Konoha, born in rain, going to stay here for life. Naruto said with a smile. Okay, come on in. Mr. Izumo. Naruto started walking around Konoha and placing smoke seals as he went around the entire village placing the seals, went to the faces of the Hokage and placed the seals on their noses, landing above the residents. All is ready? Naruto asked his father. Yes, Naruto-kun, did you give my kunai to the sound engineers? The Hokage asked. Yes, you can teleport them to the curse zone. Naruto said. Minato teleported under the village to the premises and, after applying the chakra to the seal, teleported all the sounders and returned to Naruto. The seal began to drain all of the sounders' chakra. They began to grow old and die one by one. At the same time, a clone of Naruto created a medium-sized snake that began to destroy the academy. There were subordinates and Orochimaru himself. 20 elite jounin and 150 ANBU spawned there. I didn't think that so many ninja would rush to attack the academies. Orochimaru said, suspecting betrayal, but when he heard the sounds of explosions and saw thick smoke on the village, he grinned and attacked the shinobi. Neither side won until Hiruzen was summoned by the serpent. They began to dominate the Konoha people, but suddenly Naruto appeared and, having called Toliya and Karyu, ordered to protect the village, and he himself began to fight against the third. The third was in the dawn of his powers and was called in the original body, so it would not be possible to seal it just like that. Naruto took the decapitator and soaking his hands and sword with Senchakra activated Kurama mode and attacked the third. He summoned his staff and they fought with Kenjutsu. Naruto clearly dominated. The third jumped back and used 4 elemental dragon attack. Naruto created a hand out of Kurama's chakra, enhanced it with snakes, and blocked the blow. Then he summoned small snakes that began to shoot fire bullets in large numbers at the third. Naruto summoned a fire support fox, which also fired at the third, and himself summoned 8 fox tails, which also began firing fireballs at the third. After Naruto summoned 2 medium-sized snakes and 2 toads the size of Kakashi. The toads started attacking the third one in taijutsu and the snakes tried to bite him. The third couldn't help it. Naruto himself, having made 500 seals, turned Jashin's chakra into an avatar that took Edo Tensei's immortality from the third Hokage, and then dispelled, which was covered with a peel in the stomach of the third, completely destroyed his chakra focus and the Edo Tensei dissipated. Arg, I spent half of the chakra to support Toliya and Hari and eats like that. Naruto said as he looked over to where Kakashi and Orochimaru fought. What he saw burned him from the inside. Orochimaru stood in front of Kakashi with a Sharingan, and between them was a Kusanagi blade, which began to absorb the body and mind of Hitaki. In my story it may be so. Kakashi's mind was completely destroyed, his body dropped like a doll next to Orochimaru. Gad! How dare you kill Kakashi-sensei? Naruto shouted in Kurama's voice. Tamo appeared on his Rinnegan. He also activated all the hybrid states. He no longer looked like a man. The head was a snake, the legs of a toad, the body of a fox and the tails of a nine-tailed. He ran into Orochimaru and started tearing him to pieces. He started biting and scratching him with his claws. Orochimaru ran up and wanted to replace the body, but Naruto swooped in again and with the Chidori Raisin Shuriken pierced his chest, and after the snake flew into the sky and a sphere appeared in which Orochimaru was torn to pieces. Here he is already lying in front of the Jinchuriki. He approaches Kakashi's body and develops a hybrid mode. Naruto decided to activate the Rinnegan ability that revives the recent survivors, but nothing worked. Why? Why doesn't it work? Why? What did I do? I couldn't protect him. Resurrect. Please. He screamed and cried, but nothing changed. He just laid his head on Kakashi's belly. Kid, his mind is destroyed, you can't do anything. Even if he resurrects, he will not have a soul, and in the end he will die anyway. Be strong. Kurama said worried. Kurama. Promise you won't leave me either, Naruto said crying. Nearly the entire village gathered at Kakashi's funeral. Naruto was broken. He couldn't afford more victims. He promised himself that he would protect the rest of Team Number 7. One day, Minato sent him on a solo mission in the Stone Village. Naruto met many bandits along the way. Stopping near the lake for a little swim, he sensed two people. Come out, the former blonde said calmly, turning towards the strangers. He saw a brunette with black eyes. He had aristocratic features and he strongly resembled an Uchiha. He was dressed in a scarf with blue clouds. There was a fiery red ring on his hand. Next to him stood a man with the appearance of a shark. He had animal eyes. He was also wearing a cloak with god clouds. Shursui, what are you waiting for? Naruto said, turning around and looking into the distance. I don't know, but it's still too early to think, the Uchiha answered. Itachi is waiting for you. Well, he doesn't know how he's waiting yet, that you're alive, Naruto said. He misses you. His look shows that he lost something very expensive. Yes, but... No buts. Throw in the genjutsu of this bastard, even he is strong. I remember, with Zabuza he used to be muddy, Naruto continued. What are you talking about? Kisame was perplexed and looked at Shursui. He used Kotoa Mitsukami, and ordered to listen to Hokage Naruto, Shursui and Itachi. Flashback. Shursui, why are you doing this? Itachi said crying. My eyes are too dangerous. If they fall into the wrong hands, it will greatly harm the village, Shursui replied, hiding the fact that he was on a mission to spy on the Akatsuki organization. But you can put some kind of protection. Itachi did not have time to finish as Shursui jumped off the cliff. Itachi got a manjikyu. It was a crash for him. For a whole year he grieved over the death of Shursui. In fact, Naruto, looking for an empty training ground, stumbled upon a brunette. After about 40 minutes, Naruto understood everything and offered his help, explaining, clarifying his abilities. They agreed that Naruto would jump off a cliff under a hang, and Kurama would simply cure him since he was immortal, and Shursui will kill the guards and flee the village. You don't think Naruto knew Shursui? They were good friends. So why didn't he tell Itachi everything? It's better to activate the Mangekyo than by killing someone. Izanagi. End flashback. After these incidents, Naruto completed his mission and returned to the village with Shursui and Kisame. He sent a toad with a report of what had happened. He decided to approach her. Hi, Setsuna-chan, Naruto greeted with a bright smile. Hello Naruto-kun, the girl said blushing. Which did not escape the eyes of the girls. Setsuna-chan, can we go on a date tonight? Naruto asked with the same smile. He certainly read flirting tactics, but to be honest it didn't help him much. What are you, go. Okay, Setsuna said, stepping over her pride. Well, that's fine, we'll meet at the residence at 7, I'll go. The blonde grinned at the beauty of the girl and went on, and the girl started asking Setsuna questions. Naruto quickly walked home. There he undressed and went to the shower. After 15 minutes, he came out with a towel around his waist. Then he began to decide how to go on a date. The young Uzumaki had a large wardrobe. Maybe a costume? Not us in the world of shinobi, but we only wear it at weddings or charities here, or maybe as usual. Yes, it stinks after missions, you should wash it and then wait until it dries. Maybe go in this? Naruto thought while choosing what to wear. In the end, he wore black pants, green shoes. I don't care that in the Naruto world there are no shoes and everything, uneasy face and a red shirt. Okay, I'll go in this one, Naruto said. After that he put on the Chunin vest and went outside. It was exactly 6:30 on the clock. Naruto went to the residence to meet his beloved. When he arrived, he saw her. She was beautiful, her hair responded to the flow of the wind, her eyes were black as a spruce, and her skirt was orange as an orange. But through it was possible to pass breasts that looked like two coconuts folded together. I can translate examples, smiley face. Hello Setsuna-chan, you look great, Uzumaki said walking up to the girl. And you are not bad, she said and looked away with embarrassment. Let's go to a restaurant to eat, the blonde smiled. Come on, the girl smiled. They went to a restaurant. After they ordered to eat. Naruto and Setsuna got along well. After they ate, Naruto took her hands, making her a tomato, and led them along. They walked around the evening Konoha. People smiled at this couple. They recognized Naruto's exploits, and every day he was approached by hooligans and Chunin who asked for petitions. This day is also no exception. Hello Naruto-sama, one boy greeted 5 years older than Naruto himself. Behind him were two boys of the same age. Well, hello, Naruto said warily, trying to remember who they were. In general, we would like to apologize for the past 11 years ago, that guy said with a wry smile. Let's think, a lot of things happened that year. They tried to burn me alive, they just beat me, they scratched me so that I would bleed, they beat me into a lamb and then they gave me to Chunins to be beaten. I still remember how I was a salesman with a rolling pin. I beat him almost half to death, as they tried to rape me. Thank God Kakashi-san passed by, Naruto said, and saddened at the last words. While Naruto was saying all this, Setsuna's heart was already bleeding. She was ready to tear apart anyone who touched his lover. We caught you in a trap and... Well, I understand. You owe me one wish, remember this, but for now you are free. Naruto quickly cut off and, dragging Setsuna behind him, went on. Why didn't you punish them? They did harm to you. Setsuna was indignant. Revenge breeds hatred, hatred breeds even more hatred, so a circle is formed that can be destroyed only if one of the parties is not destroyed. And what is needed for this? Exactly. Did it lead? Wars, enmity between villages, hired killers, a family, emphasis on who throw their children, avengers who kill many people and eventually die themselves too. Death of relatives, comrades and teachers with students. However, nothing good. Setsuna turned pale. She realized that she had been living on the wrong path all this time. A month later, Nagato arrived at the village with his bodies. Naruto immediately spotted them and, declaring an alarm, went to them. When he saw that there were 6 of them, he made the same number of sin clones. Each of them began to attack rivals. The girl immediately summoned a dog with 2 heads. Naruto's clone activated the Rinne Sharingan and summoned a fox with 8 tails that dominated the dog. Where do you get these eyes? The original started looking for Nagato. Clones of Naruto at the expense of Senchakra as well as hybrid states simply mutated Pain's bodies. The call immediately merged, the second was mechanical, the third went to the one who could revive the dead, followed by the one who spoke, and the one who could suck information out of people and predict thoughts. Pain was already eating from each of the 6 clones. He stupidly couldn't help it. At this time, Naruto found Nagato's body, entering a tree of sheets, he did not stand on ceremony and immediately sucked out all the remaining Nagato's chakra. Konan wanted to sew him up, but she just as quickly drove off in a mask and then teleported somewhere. In the next second, Obito hung over Konoha. He had Rinnegan's in his eyes. This world is against the eternal Tsukiyami. Shinra closer. Obito shouted. The next second, Konoha blew like a wind. Naruto felt only Minato in the whole village. Everyone, absolutely everyone was dead. Including Setsuna. Hey bastard! How dare you do such a thing? Activating all possible mods, Naruto said. Uzumaki Naruto, come to me. With our eyes, without Madara, we can make the eternal Tsukuyami. We will create a world without pain and suffering. A world where everyone will be happy. Obito said. I don't need a world of illusions. Nobody needs such a world. You're just a coward who can't resist the world. You can never be anyone and no one. Ran into Obito. They fought in taijutsu, all Naruto's blows went through. Then he switched to techniques. They didn't help either. Obito couldn't hurt Naruto either. They used eye techniques, normal techniques, all sorts of tricks, but nothing helped. You're the masked man. Didn't Minato kill you? Naruto started talking during the fight. Yes, that's right, Madara was still alive at that time, so he found Orochimaru and together they cured me completely. They forced the medic Chiyo to sacrifice herself for the sake of my resurrection, Obito replied. Guard, Naruto shouted and began to attack even faster. Naruto tried in every possible way to press Obito with techniques and clones. During the 2 days of the battle, he realized that when Obito teleports to another place, then he is material and can be attacked. Naruto tried to use it in every possible way, but he was also Obito not a miss. They fought for 30 days. In my world, when a person fights and one part of his body is made of Hari cells, it accumulates chakra itself while Obito himself attacked. Because of this, his chakra did not run out, but this also does not last forever. In the end, the part will simply perish and die. During these days they managed to injure each other, but unlike Naruto, Obito really suffered. And Naruto just endured the pain and waited for Kurama to heal him. So Obito threw a chain at him and teleported behind Naruto. He caught the chain and cut Naruto in half. Arg. This is the end of Naruto Uzumaki. Do you know what day it is today? That day when your parents abandoned you, when you became a Jinchuriki, now and in addition when all the inhabitants of Konoha and the village itself were destroyed, your father only survived, only he has no limbs, Obito smiled evilly. And yet, today is my birthday, screamed Naruto, his body parts immediately stuck together and he slammed Obito into the ground with a Rasengan, then summoned the god of death and sealed Obito into himself. Arg. Naruto spat out blood. God of death, can you take my soul even if I'm immortal? You may be immortal, but you don't have a soul, replied the Shinigami. I see Ki, let me do one thing, Naruto said while coughing and then folded the seals, divine resurrection technique. 21,000 green balls flew out of Naruto and all of them flew into dead people. And his legs and he immediately teleported to Naruto. With the lives of the inhabitants, all memories of Naruto returned. He was recognized as a hero. Setsuna committed suicide after 2 months. Sasuke and Menma became the strongest after Naruto's death. Menma became Hokage and Sasuke became the Shadow Kage. The inhabitants despised Minato for his act, although they understood that they themselves were no better. Minato began to drink, he often came home drunk. One day he attacked Kushina and killed her. Aka and Teiyo tried to protect her, but Minato killed them too. Committed suicide. Menma was depressed but promised himself that he would never give up for anything, for the sake of his brother. He began dating Hinata and soon they had children. They named the boy Naruto, and the girl they named Setsuna. And what happened to Naruto? And nothing special with him. You will find out in the next part. Naruto woke up. He was lying on the water again. The guy stood up, and looking around he saw an old man with horns and a white face that hovered in a lotus position. I understand that you are the Sage of Six Paths, right? The silver-haired man asked. Yes, Naruto-kun. I'm glad you were able to make friends with my son, but you died too soon. I'll say even more, you shouldn't have died at all. I have to revive you, the sage said. I see what's going on with Setsuna. Silver-haired asked again. Wait, your soul was taken by a Shinigami. When one god takes the life of another, it is almost impossible to resurrect him, but there is one way how to do it. There is one artifact in the alternative world, called Marries. I will send you there, you have to find out where he can get it. After that, I will return you back to my world. It's clear that she's not all right. The old man doesn't need to tell me anything. It's better if I stay in another world and find this stone. I don't have to return to my native one. Naruto asked. No, not necessarily. Now I will send you to a world that is advanced much further than yours. But the people there are weaker. All the necessary information will be in this book, said the sage, handing over the yellow book. Understood, old man. Will Ku go with me? Uzumaki asked. Yes, I will send him along with you, but when you find Marries, he will return to this world so as not to destroy the balance. And now I need to go. One purple thug wants to destroy the world with I'll help the mighty stones, so for now, the sage said as Naruto closed his eyes. This is the end.